Welcome to BSing with the guys. It's open season. No scripts, no filters, just raw conversations, laughs, stories you won't hear anywhere else. Buckle up. This is where the real BS begins. If you'd like to keep up with the upcoming shows and events, head over to our brand new website, bsingwithyeagley.com, and subscribe. I want to give a big shout out to Ed, the man behind Static Shift Radio, holding it down for indie rock artists and keeping the scene alive. So show him some love. Check out the website where you can find Static Shift Radio Station and
Thank you.
upcoming events. That's staticshiftradio.com. And you can also find him on Instagram at Static Shift Radio. Tonight, we have the Ferg, Disease, and we also have a couple guests that are probably going to pop in later, but we'll see who we get. So, y'all hang in there, and it's going to be an interesting night. How's it going, guys?
Hey, it's going great. Robert, thanks for having us on tonight, brother.
Oh, yeah, man. You know, in between the interviews with the music artists and other individuals that come on the podcast, we always have to get some of the fun time in.
Oh
So
yeah, for sure. For sure.
it's this is almost like blowing steam off, but you can talk about anything. So we make it interesting, and we also drink a little adult beverages, which that's always fun.
I didn't even know it was the
Kids drink.
19th.
Yep. So anything
Yeah,
interesting happen to
between
y'all
work
today?
life and between work life and between, doing what we love and honestly the podcast, the interviews and everything, that's what we do out of a passion and a love for music, a love for people and for interacting with one another. But man, there's those times you just got to get together with some bros, have some cold ones, and just talk about some BS and just let loose, just be human for a little while.
Heck yeah.
Hmm.
Speaking of which,
The
cheers,
bros.
everybody.
Oh,
Cheers.
cheers.
And in case my good brother Jacob Landers happens to pop in and see our video,
Man,
gonna
you should
sport
have
his koozie on mine.
should have told him to pop in on the show.
Well, I sure would have, but he's got a prior engagement tonight. He's got something he's got to do this evening. But I sure would have. He would have loved it, man. But
Did you say
we'll
pop
have
in or
that's one
pop
thing we got
off?
to do. We got to get Jacob in here, man. We got to get him
Hmm.
on the podcast, bro.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He would love it, and you guys would love him, man. He's a great guy, and that's the thing. That's the thing about music. It's allowed me to create relationships and meet people and meet friends that I never would have. You guys being some of them, I would have never met you guys if I hadn't started doing all this. Now, music's always been a part of my life in a big form, but as far as actually doing the videos, love you too, bro, doing the videos and doing the podcast and stuff, that was something that got started, early on this year, really. Somebody suggested it to me and Jacob, and it's kind of been, if you build it, they will come kind of thing. I never expected all this, and now some of my very best friends are people right here.
That
It's
sounded
it's kind of
corny.
awesome. Yeah, it sounded corny, and it
Get it?
sounds mushy and corny, but
No,
truly,
no.
honest to God, that's what it is, man. That's what it is.
From Field of Dreams. Of course it's corny.
Yeah, he's making a.
Oh yeah. Well, but and I know I'm ripping off the line from Field of Dreams, but it's really been true.
It is a true line.
So
It really is.
I do want to give a heads up to the audience that are watching right now. All right. So me and the Ferg have some good, awesome news for next weekend. So next
Don't
next
spill the beans yet.
you want to spill the beans, right?
No, you
So
you can you can spill them, but
well, for the guys that follow the show, I figured it'd be fair to give them a little heads up.
Take it away, boss.
I've already put the post out, but I'll share with everyone. So
With the viewing audience. Let's share with the viewing audience.
for the viewing audience, this is what we have. This is for next Saturday. Silent Theory.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah.
And Disease, he'll be the producer. So
Heck yeah. Disease, we're going to need you, bro.
I'll
Yeah,
do
this
what I
is-
can.
this is going to be a good show, man. And to
It's going to be an amazing show.
talk a little about it, is when I reached out to these guys, right? Bob, he was, and he's a Marine.
Oh, I think you're breaking up there a bit. Or am I going?
No, I
This is a veteran
he
run
froze up.
podcast.
We lost you there
Disease-
for a minute.
Disease or me?
No, you did.
we both lost you, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, you know the fiber's out, so now I'm doing Starlink. So, but
Right.
when we reach out to people, we always express that this is a veteran run podcast, and we would like them to come on the show. And so when he reached back out, he said that he was a Marine, and I was like, man, that's awesome. So
Heck
I
yeah.
can't wait for the show, man. I believe they're
Heck
playing a
yeah.
good festival this weekend right now.
Right, they're supposed to be at Louder Than Life with all the other bands.
Man, so many bands.
That's what's on their tour dates on the website.
But I'll tell you what, going along with what you said, making good friends, we also have Mario, which is
Right.
from Take It or Leave It Band. And, he popped in last Friday, which is awesome. I love making friends along the way. But that
Heck
was
yeah.
that was pretty cool of him, man. So, and he's
Heck
he's
yeah.
pretty funny, man. So,
We had fun.
oh yeah.
Well, breaking away from music just a little bit, I'm going to throw in some comedy because I'm a huge comedy lover. For those that don't, I have loved comedy forever and ever. Love jokes, and I actually did a video on my favorite comedians a while back and posted it. And I won't go through the list right here, but I wanted to say this, and I hope Disease doesn't get mad at me. But every time I see Disease, I think of D's nuts. That was one of our favorite jokes.
Oh yeah.
We used to set guys up with that joke. Man, we had so much fun setting people up with that joke. And there was this one guy, when I used to work construction, I would still stop by Lowe's all the time, Lowe's Home Improvement. And there was this one guy that was so gullible, and we would get him every single time. And then one of my favorite ones, I'll tell you one of my favorite ones right here on the podcast. This one's not too bad, but we got him because he had finally learned all our jokes. He had finally learned how to look out. And so I came to him one day, and I won't say his name. I don't want to embarrass him on here, but I asked him, I said, would you
Yeah, don't
consider
break the
yourself a
bro code.
ladies' man? And he's like, yeah, I kind of consider myself a ladies' man. I said, good. You won't mind if I lay these nuts across your chin.
Oh yeah. Oh,
It's
And-
just like up dog.
and man, it's funny. That joke was a joke that lasted forever and stayed funny forever. And I can't help myself when I see Duzzies spelled out. I just first thing I think of is D's.
Everybody does a lot of times.
Disease. You
Have you
got
heard
some
that
friends
one?
on Rumble.
Uh-oh.
Yep, you got some friends on Rumble. I think we got Gary, Dork Girl.
Oh my
You
God.
wrong.
Old clans
Oh,
here.
heck yeah.
He said, tell Duz that COVID's over.
Oh. But you know, Disease, we're
Never
glad you're
over.
here though, bro, man. We're glad you're here. I had to throw that in there because I love comedy, I love laughter, I love jokes, pranks. Speaking of that, I'll tell you what. Share one of your favorite pranks and then share a prank where somebody got you really good.
Hmm.
Well,
The
I know one for you that I actually witnessed was with a pepper.
Mm.
You remember that disease?
oh
He
you
got
yeah
he got my brother really good.
yeah. I'm just glad he
With a
didn't touch
pepper.
his eyes. Yeah,
Oh
we were.
man.
You want me to tell it, or you want to?
Go. This is your this is your prank.
He
He'll
When we
be
were
on here
about to go
watching, I'm
fishing,
sure.
and my dad used to grow these little ornamental peppers. They were little small peppers, but they were hot. You know, they weren't like ghost pepper hot, but they were hot. And so I told his brother, I said, "Hey, come see." And I took one of the peppers and I opened it and I said, "Look
Yeah,
at that."
yeah.
And he's like, "What is that?" And what? And I was like, "See the seeds?" And he's like, "Ah!" And he throws it on the ground. He's like, he didn't care about it. But what he
Oh man.
forgot to do, and what I knew he'd forget to do, is wash his hands. So I go in the house and wash my hands, and we get in the car, and he's sitting there, and he starts touching his mouth and stuff, and we're
Oh
riding, listening
no.
to music, and he's like, "Man, my lips are burning." Oh man, why are my lips burning? He keeps touching it more and more, and then,
Oh, good.
and then he's like, why is it burning? I was like, "You remember that pepper you touched?" And he's like, "Oh," and he grabbed, like, there was like two things of water. He just starts downing them, drinking all the water in
Oh
the
my
car.
God.
Oh yeah, it was fun. I'm just glad he didn't touch his eye. I didn't think about him
Right?
scratching his eye.
Uh,
But that'll teach you to wash your hands.
Oh heck yeah.
You
Heck
better
yeah.
wash your hands.
A buddy of
yeah.
mine's older brother, when they were kids, a buddy of mine's older brother kind of did something like that. He was out in the garden picking peppers with his mother and didn't think to wash his hands. And they lived out in the country, and so he's asking his mother, like, "Hey, I got to go pee." Well, being a little boy,
Oh
you're going to
man.
tell a little boy, go over
Mm-mm.
there by the trees or whatever. And he
Hmm.
didn't think anything of it. He was probably 8 or 9 years old. Went over there. Man, it lit him up. I mean, lit him up downstairs. And that's a bad place to be touching if you've been rubbing peppers.
Well, he
Mm-mm-mm.
won't forget to wash his hands after touching peppers after
No,
that one. I'll tell you that.
absolutely not.
Shout out to Mike in the audience.
Mike.
Good to see you here, man.
What's up, Mike?
That's another brother from another
That's
mother.
another brother from another mother. There you go. Good deal. Okay, well now,
Mike.
Robert, I know you've got some stories. You were in the military, and just like my brother that was in the military for a long time, I know y'all did some stuff. So come on, man.
Oh, okay. Well, Europe is awesome. I can tell you that. So,
Okay.
uh, day one, I land in Frankfurt, Germany. I get picked up by another fellow soldier. He's taking me around. We're driving through, and I look over. I'm like, "There's castles in Germany." He's like, "Hell yeah, man! They're everywhere." And I was like,
Mhm.
"That is awesome." And then we get on this thing called the Autobahn, and he's like, "Oh, yeah. You ever seen a road without cracks?" I was like, "No, I can't say that haven't." every road has a crack.
Right.
Well, the Autobahn does not have a crack.
No
So
kidding.
uh, don't quote me, but I think Hitler had his scientists build these roads so they can transport tanks on them, and it was they ran north to south, east to west, and there's no speed limit outside of the towns or the villages. So once you get on the main road, you can go as fast as you want. So
Oh
here he
wow.
is in this BMW, and we're hauling butt. I'm like, dang. I said, you gonna get stopped by the cops or what? He's like, nope, not here. And they're Polizei. I was like, oh, cool. So
Yeah.
all right. So we make it to base, and he's like, all right, we'll get you signed up and get you placed in your room, your barracks. It's like, all right. So got me set up, and this is the first time ever out of the country, man. So I'm
Right.
ecstatic. Like, this is beautiful country. There's not a power line in the air. Okay, all
Wow.
power lines are ran underground. There is no type of like I don't want to call it pollution, but I'm gonna say there's no high lines that you see. There's just buildings, old roads, like cobblestone roads still. Um,
Right.
and I was actually stationed over in Heidelberg, Germany, which had its own castle down by the river. Um, that place was amazing, man. Uh, Me and the guys, I met some really good family there. I wouldn't say friends, it's family. I met family there.
There you
Um,
go.
then, I mean, we traveled by train everywhere. Visited, went to Oktoberfest. That was awesome.
Okay.
Never seen a place mix so much alcohol and roller coasters together, but man, Oktoberfest was awesome. And I mean, there's a lot
And
of,
I bet they drank you under the table too.
oh, dude, I thought I could drink until I got to Germany. I'm not going to lie, dude. I called dinosaurs several times. So, but yeah, man, I love Germany. It's awesome. Beautiful country. I almost didn't want to come back. It was that beautiful and like it's peaceful there. You know, coming back to America from another country like that, you actually notice like the laws that are put in place because there's so many of them, right? Well,
Right.
Germany, there's laws, but you don't have people acting a fool out there. You
Right.
know, people go to their job. There's free education. Um, you know, they actually had McDonald's and a Walmart there, surprisingly.
Okay. Wow.
McDonald's serves beer through the drive-through, by the way.
Really?
So, oh yes, yes.
So what do you
So
call it?
you're
Is it a McLager or what? Like what do you
well,
order?
you got Hefeweizens and Crystal Weissens.
Hefeweizen. Okay.
Oh yeah, and Mike said kids could drink. Yeah, the kids could outdrink me for sure,
Kids
Mike.
drink for free.
Actually, they're like when you walk into a bar or a club over there, they don't ID you. Like if you can see over the bar, you can drink. So, like, say if you're a young soldier trying to find a girl, you better ID her because you don't know what you don't know how old they are because they look
Uh,
Right.
like they're of age.
all the
But
midgets had to go to a lower bar though.
yeah, uh,
Couldn't stay at that one.
I did come across one
Lowering the
awesome
bar.
bar that even the Ferg would love because it was a rock bar. It was a corner, like a
Uh-huh.
hole in the wall bar, right?
Right.
And you're not far from the castle, but it was shoulder to shoulder, and they played nothing but rock music, dude. It
Oh,
was
bro.
the '80s, the '90s, the
I love
'70s.
that. I
Like
love that.
and if you were American, they were like, "Oh, buy you around," kind of thing. These dudes rocked out.
Hell yeah.
Um, but yeah, I enjoyed my time. Man, Mike said same in Scotland. Never been to Scotland, but uh, so but yeah, Mike's military too. By the way, he's a veteran, so that's how I know Mike.
Yeah, I heard
Well,
Japan's
I
similar.
appreciate that you do things for the vets. I myself am not, but my dad was, both of my brothers, so many of my family members and friends have been, and it means a lot that you guys support veterans and that you say that it's a veteran run podcast and put that out there up front unashamedly. That's pretty awesome, bro. We appreciate that.
Oh yeah, man. We work with a group of guys. They're awesome. Mike's one of them people too. So Mike
Heck
is
yeah.
actually a part of our club. He just got patched in. So congrats on that, Mike, again.
Heck yeah.
So
Speaking of the 80s and 90s rock and all that, got a new addition to the studio back here. Picked up this this placard with Ozzy from Bark at the Moon. You see that in the background. I try to change it up a little bit in the background here from time to time, swap my books out and some of the things, but sometimes I wonder if I got a little too much going on back here. It's quite the hodgepodge, but I had to pick that Ozzy up, man. I couldn't pass it up. I was like, man, I gotta have this.
I like it, dude.
Yeah, I
Uh,
couldn't pass it up.
I
And
do have
that's
me.
Awaiting Abigail right there, by the way. That whole poster is signed by the band.
Heck yeah, man. I got to keep remembering that I think it's October 12th, if I'm not
Uh-huh.
mistaken. They'll be in Houston.
Okay, that's
I'm
right.
gonna try to
That's
make
right.
that show. Had to see. I've been working so much lately, man. So I took this new position at work, and so things have changed. There's been some, you know, we've just been, trying to see how this is going because it's new to all
You
of
still
us.
driving 2 hours away from home?
No, not right now. Right now,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
an hour and 20.
Oh, okay, okay,
So,
gotcha.
but yesterday I only had to drive about 45 minutes. So,
Okay.
or no, it was an hour. The road was closed, had to go around, so it ended up being about an hour 15. But I'm enjoying it so far. We just need to grow and see where we end up at. But
Right.
enough about me, man. So,
Yeah.
what about you, Ferg? We're always interviewing somebody else, and I know we had an interview with you a while
Hmm.
back, but you know, let the, tell the audience a little about yourself and what you enjoy, man.
Oh God. Okay. Well, if you want to know about what I enjoy, I'll give you something that is not music related because obviously everybody knows that I'm a huge rock and roll fan, huge music fan. You're going to get that. So the one thing that you may not know about me, we were talking about this a little bit before we jumped on the podcast. Ever since I was like 7 or 8 years old, I have been the biggest basketball fan forever. And it's kind of been hard on me where I live because I grew up here in West Tennessee and there's so much football here. And everybody loves football. It's in fact tonight's Friday night football. Your Friday night high school games, Saturday's college. We're right smack dab in the SEC here, and of course we've got pro football going on. And I'm not opposed to football at all. I've watched some of it myself from time to time, but I am the biggest basketball fan. I have loved basketball since I was a kid, and what got me started when Dad first moved down to Tennessee from Chicago with us. One of the first places we lived was in a housing project area. We lived in a very poor area, but the basketball court for some reason was way down in like, I don't know if you want to call it a valley or what, but it was way down the hill from where the playground was up top, where all the kids could play at the playground. And so we were the little kids, and we would watch all the older kids, the older guys out there shooting basketball on these hoops that had the chain nets. And sometimes you were lucky if you had a net, but they'd be down there playing ball all day. And we kind of got mesmerized by that. We would watch them play. And then so the first time I saw them playing basketball on TV, like real pro sports. I was like, wow, that's what those guys were doing at the park. Then, hey, I kind of like this, and so I grew up watching some of the greatest basketball ever played. I grew up watching Magic Johnson and Isaiah Thomas and Larry
Yeah,
Bird. Grew up watching Akeem Olajuwon
yeah.
and guys like that. Grew up watching obviously Dominique Wilkins and yes, the greatest
Bud
of all
Webb.
time, Michael Jordan.
Oh, I
Hell
thought you
yeah,
meant
Got to
Bud Webb.
watch Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and the Bulls
yeah.
teams that were winning championships. And an interesting fact, uh, when I became a teenager, I don't want to get into too much personal family history, but I will say, as a teenager, we went to live with my grandmother, and one of the highlights of living with my grandmother, well, everything about living with my grandmother was a highlight. That was the place to be, and really shaped me. The reason I am who I am today is really because of my grandmother. She's my hero. She was a nurse that worked in several hospitals all over the place, a nurse for 35 years, and worked 12-hour shifts all the time to raise us. And but one of the cool things was on school nights, you probably had to be in bed somewhere around 9 or 9:30. But if Michael Jordan and the Bulls were playing a game, my grandmother would let us stay up and finish the game and watch the game. And so that was pretty cool. We got to sit up even on school nights for those games, and that was just the best. And so
Hell yeah.
even to this
Hell
day,
yeah.
I remain an avid basketball fan to these days, and I've been able to translate that over to my sons. And so a lot of the weekends when I'm not doing a podcast and my kids are here and not doing things, we're outside playing basketball, and we'll stay out for several hours, and they love it, and they love it as much as I do. And so that's one of the things about me that's non-music related that I can tell everybody.
Yeah. Well, I got the perfect question for you then.
Sure.
So, and then after you respond to this, there is a comment that's pretty hilarious over on Rumble. So we'll read that.
Okay. Let's have it.
So here's the question for you, Ferg. Who is the most overrated player in sports history?
LeBron James.
Hey, can you give us a little reason why?
Where do I start? Here's the thing. I don't want to be on media and say something bad about a professional sports player who is obviously a great public figure and has been the face of the league for many, many years. But the reason I say he's overrated is because long before he had ever met any of the criteria that Michael Jordan had worked so hard to get, they were already trying to put it in this guy's hands. And he had not earned any of it. He had not worked for any of it at that time. And they're already trying to hand him the torch, forgetting that Kobe Bryant was still in the league at that time. And the closest we ever saw to Michael Jordan was Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Not to
And
mention the
Dennis
fact,
Rodman.
well, not Dennis was a great rebounder, and Dennis did all the dirty work and the hard things that nobody wanted to do, and that's what made Dennis great. Dennis was phenomenal at that. He chose not to be a scorer.
Like
and I
Madonna.
love
He
Dennis
did
for that.
Madonna, and no one wanted to do that.
Well, I don't know. There was a day and time, when she was younger, and we didn't know so much. But I digress. To get back to it, I'll tell you what did it for me with LeBron. In the beginning, I wanted to be a LeBron fan. Honest to God, I did. I thought he was bringing something special to the league, and I wanted to be a fan of LeBron James. The series when he was with Cleveland, the Boston series, where he walked out pouting like a little baby and walked out, shook nobody's hands, abandoned his teammates, went to the locker room, didn't even show up for interviews, turned his back. That's when I started to be done with the guy. And then to go on live television, I don't care how much money you say you raise for boys and girls clubs or whatever. It was really shady to go on live television and tell the world that you're leaving your team just to go to Miami to form a super team, and then you get on live TV and you tell everybody you're going to win not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, not 8 championships. And then the first year, Dirk Nowitzki kicks your ass, and Dwayne Wade has to carry you. But when LeBron James is live on podcasts and other news outlets, anytime you see him live, I rarely see him give Dwayne Wade or Chris Bosh any credit. I rarely see him give Kyrie any credit. I rarely have seen him give Ray Allen any credit. so many other players that helped him. Michael Jordan has said repeatedly that Scottie Pippen was the greatest player that he ever had by his side. Michael Jordan has never called himself the GOAT. He's always said he
Anyone,
felt it would be disrespectful to Wilt Chamberlain and to Oscar Robertson and Elgin Baylor and Jerry West and the guys that came before him. And he may have had the confidence to know that he was the greatest. And deep down, he might have had that. You know, he told Magic and Larry, hey, there's a new sheriff in town, and said that with his chest. But publicly and all that, the words have never crossed his lips in front of a camera that he was the greatest. And LeBron has done that. And he has no style in his dunking. He does the same dunk every time. He rarely plays defense, and when he does play defense, he blocks somebody from behind instead of guarding the. He never guards the toughest player face to face. Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant made it their assignment, their personal assignment, to guard the toughest player on the opposing team. And there's even videos of Kobe shutting LeBron down defensively. And I could go on and on and on, but despite me going on and on, there's going to be a plethora of arguments on the other side of all kinds of things. I've heard them for years. I've listened to them for years. I've argued them for years. So here's what I'm going to say. As a man, as a father, as a public figure, LeBron James has been phenomenal. Is he a phenomenal talent with a phenomenal physique and a body of an athlete that's unlike hardly anyone except maybe Tom Brady? Yes. Phenomenal. Got to give him that. Has he turned his brand and his name into billions of dollars? Yes. Got to credit him for that. But when it comes to the basketball playing, and I compare him to the other great players, I don't say that he's not great, and I don't say he doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, but I do say he's overrated. They gave him too much too early, put too much on him that wasn't warranted and hasn't been earned. Michael earned everything he got. When the chips got tough and he couldn't beat the bad boys, he didn't go join Magic and Larry or Hakeem or Charles Barkley and form a super team. He went and got in the gym. He went and practiced harder and harder. He lifted weights, and he invited Scotty and BJ Armstrong and some of those other guys to get up early and come to his practice routines and to work out with him. And numerous players, both on and off his teams, have said that Michael Jordan played harder in practice than he ever did in an actual game. And you saw what he did in actual games. So imagine that, tougher and harder in practice. And he never took load management, never took off. 9 times in his career, he played all 82 games. LeBron's done that 1 time in his career. All 82
he played
games.
when he had the flu, too.
Yes. And now I know there's going to be detractors. There's going to be guys that say, oh, John Havlicek has 8 championships. Robert Horry has this and this many championships, 7 championships. Listen, when Michael did it, he was never the sideshow. He was always the main show. He was the main reason people bought tickets. He was the main reason you were in the building. And he was the one guy that said, damn it, we're not losing this. If I have to lose a leg or an arm, we're not losing this game. And I've seen players in LeBron's era, including LeBron, but others in his era and in this newer, younger generation, so much as stub a toe and they're like, Coach, I'm coming out of the game, and sit on the bench. You're getting paid millions and millions of dollars. And I love what Charles Barkley said maybe a year or two ago. He said, hey, we're not construction workers. I used to be a construction worker. I know how hard that work is. He said, we're not construction workers. We're not miners. We're not working in the coal mines and stuff like that. We're getting to do something we love for millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
There's no excuse not to be out there for the fans. And I'm sure I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this video, but here's one thing that I'll say.
Everybody has an opinion.
I'll get off this tangent after I say this. When I say the things that I say about basketball and about basketball players, it's not just because I've watched a bunch of games. I've got a stack of books. I have read biographies and autobiographies. I have Michael Jordan's book. I have 5 books on Kobe. I've got KG's book. I've got books with Dirk Nowitzki. I've got all kinds of books, and I've watched countless documentaries, and I've listened to what the other NBA players have to say. And if you're not listening to social media, if you're not listening to ESPN, the talking heads, and you actually sit down and listen to the basketball players who have played the sport, the majority of them, the majority, I'm not saying all of them, but the majority of them say Michael Jordan is the greatest to ever play the game of basketball.
That would be that's my opinion as well. Michael Jordan.
Now, I've ruffled some feathers, but I'll die on that hill. Michael Jordan is the greatest. And
All right.
here's what I'll
Nickname
say.
himself
I'll go ahead
king
and say
either.
this. Let me go ahead and say this for everybody else also. I do want to say this. I do want to say this before I end the subject. I do put Michael at the greatest, but if anybody should stand shoulder to shoulder with Michael on all the credit they deserve, it's Kareem. We don't give Kareem enough credit, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is right there with Michael Jordan. I put Kareem there, and right after Michael and Kareem, I put Kobe. And then whoever else wants to follow you guys can pick it up from there. But we've got to put Kareem up there with Michael.
All right.
I don't know it well enough to say any of that.
Well, like I said, after Ferg's answer, there was one comment in Rumble that's hilarious. And it's one of Disease's friends, Dork Girl 21. My stepmom convinced my sister when she was 10 years old that if she blew into her thumbs, her boobs would get bigger.
That's what happened
Okay,
Disease
I've got to
kept blowing in
follow.
his thumbs.
Did it work?
to me. Yeah.
Did it work? Oh hell!
It didn't harm, but it didn't help.
Uh, dang.
But I did have to say the nice things that I said about LeBron also, because he does deserve the Hall of Fame, and he has been a wonderful proponent at propelling the league to where it's at. I got to say that I just have a hard time with people that
His
try
personality.
to put him above Michael Jordan, because I personally cannot do that. But there's a lot of other great accolades that he rightfully deserves. So I don't want to get on here and say that he's trash. So let me make that clear.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't like him because of his personality, and I'm not even into basketball.
All right, we're gonna move a little in a different direction now. Best drunk food of all time. Answers
Waffle
from,
House.
But what food?
Squid.
Squid.
I'm not
Squid.
kidding. Grilled squid is so good.
Never had
When you're drunk?
grilled.
Oh yeah. Most people have
Oh.
to be drunk to try squid anyway.
You may be right. I've never tried it.
But octopus is even better, and I'll tell you why. Squid is very sweet. When it's cooked right, and it's not tough. It's real sweet. It's like a real sweet flavor to it. Octopus is similar, but it's more meaty than sweet, and it is so good. Oh man! But they
Where
have
do
to
you
be
get
extremely
that?
fresh.
Who prepares that? Where do you get that?
Last time I tried it, where it was actually good, was up in New York.
Okay.
Yeah, down here they get like sloppy seconds on all the good food, so we don't get good
Gotcha.
seafood. They even our shrimp, like a lot of the restaurants, it all comes from Thailand or China, and we have shrimp boats like 20 minutes away, or not 20 minutes, but like a couple hours away. They got shrimp boats, but no, we get
Right.
stuff from China and Thailand at the
Oh,
restaurants.
wow. Well, I can kind of identify with that. Every time I make a trip back to Chicago, I'm just amazed at how wonderful the food is versus anything that tries to be like it right here. You know, we
Yeah.
have one establishment here that does a really good job, and that's because the owner and proprietor is from Chicago, but most of the time the rip-offs just, man, they can't do it justice. They just really can't.
No, we had a Chinese place come in here, and they said, "Oh, we're from New York," and I said, "No, you're not. Either that or they kicked you out, because I've
Oh
been to New York,
wow.
and every Chinese place, it can be a little hole in the wall, rat infested looking place, has some amazing Chinese food, and these people couldn't cook. I could cook better, and I'm not even that great cook." And
Oh
I was like,
wow.
"There ain't no way you're from New York. You are from New York, and you lasted 10 minutes. Maybe that was the case, but yeah, it's hard to find good Chinese food here, like really good.
Wow.
Um, and
Had to
usually
mute
when you
myself
find
And
for a
them,
where are
second.
you at, Disease? Where are you located?
we're in Louisiana.
Oh, okay, you're in Louisiana as well. Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, I can almost throw a rock and hit him. No, 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 he's
just
a little
throw it
fella.
hard enough to kill me, please.
No,
Please don't.
no, I had to
I
mute
can
myself for a
trust
second,
you.
man. Had to fix me a drink. I didn't want to have it all
Bring the meteor.
the noise in the
Hang tight. I'm
mic.
turning my air back on.
Yeah, I shut mine off because it was making it. I think that's what y'all were hearing. I couldn't even hear it, but somehow the mic was picking it up.
Well, I wasn't necessarily hearing it, but like
Oh,
because
froze. Yep.
actually for some reason started to get too cold.
the
Yeah, it froze and then unfroze.
Hey,
$1.50
Ferg.
chicken nuggets from Burger King.
Hey, Ferg,
Ah,
do me one
go
favor.
ahead.
So
Yes, sir.
on that
I
mic
turned
Yes,
you
my
sir.
have,
headphones. It's getting
is there a
hot.
volume?
Yes.
Uh, just
Yes.
turn it down just slightly. I think it's pegging out, and I keep hearing like this, like the peg out.
What do you got
Oh,
now?
it's peaking. There you
Yeah,
go.
peaking. Yep,
What do you have
yep.
now?
It's good
It
now.
could be me. I'm loud. I could
Oh.
whisper and my voice carries.
You can't
Seriously.
whisper, Ferg.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
No.
No, you all good. I'm just trying to adjust it because I
What do you
keep
have
hearing
now?
the.
How's the sound now?
It's good so far.
Let me
Oh,
It
go
ain't
down
peaked out
more.
yet. No,
there's
Should I
you're
go
good
someone
down
right
named
now.
more?
Ryan commenting. I wonder if he's ever tried bagels
Drunk and Chinese
from New
food would
Jersey.
be a
That
bad
Ryan guy.
combination.
Well,
Well,
it'd be
look,
like
I
eating
don't know what
Taco
to tell you
Bell.
guys, but when I have been extremely drunk, Waffle House always hits the spot.
Steak and
I don't know
eggs.
why. God, man, that or a patty melt and coffee, obviously, but oh my God, just I don't know. Awful House is awful good when you're drunk.
I like eating strange food when I'm drunk. It tastes different.
I do
Hey,
like some. I like some dried squid. I do like that.
Dried squid. See, guys, I've never tried that.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
well,
See, his brother lives in Taiwan, so
Okay.
when he'd come down, he would bring some. Back in the day, he'd bring some like dried squid, dried fish with sesame seeds. Like it was all different types of stuff, and that's where I tried it at. Was at Disease's house back in the day. So
Okay.
it's
yeah, they
actually
eat a
So
pretty
if I
good.
lot of
come to New
different food.
Orleans, you're gonna break me in if I come to New Orleans.
If you come to New Orleans, we're about what
4 hours.
2.5 hours away. Is
No,
it
close
that
to
far?
4. Yeah,
Is it?
Baton
That's
Rouge
cool.
is 2.5 hours.
Because I
Oh
am
yeah,
Little
thinking of
north.
okay,
making a
yeah.
trip next year. I've thought about it. There's buses here that we can take, like go down and get off, and then you can, spend time down around it. Like I've thought about that, and I've talked about taking a trip, maybe a day trip or like over the weekend or something like that. So,
Dude, you need to plan that New Orleans trip when Sever Red comes to New Orleans,
oh yeah, heck yeah,
and then
I
we
hope
can
heck
they
all
ain't
yeah,
get
coming during
together.
summer.
We'll all get
hell yeah,
together and go hang
hell
out with
yeah,
them guys.
And if
hell
you
Kevin,
yeah, bro.
or, order it, try and come in when it's cooler.
When it's
you know,
cooler,
if you don't do it.
right. You guys have
It
some
is hot
brutal
as
summers,
crap.
don't you?
Humidity, man. Humidity.
It's hot as crap in
Killing.
New Orleans too, because they're below sea level and it's just
And
humid. It's
see, I
just
thought our humidity was bad, but you guys really have it bad, don't you?
no, yeah.
And like breathing water down there.
What's your best month for visitors?
Right now it's pretty nice. It's 64
Yeah.
in the morning.
Probably October,
Yeah.
September,
Okay.
October-ish, and
Okay.
then
And
spring.
even sometimes into December, because here lately we haven't gotten harsh winters until
Until
what,
January.
February
Okay.
up until May sometimes, depending
Gotcha.
on.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
But
What
it's
about
been
Mardi Gras?
really weird.
Mardi Gras, uh,
It's starting. It's hot during that time. It's starting to get hot when the Mardi Gras.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
February, so it's still sometimes it's cold,
Oh, it's
sometimes it's
right.
hot. Yeah,
I thought that was in March.
Mardi Gras is February.
Oh, never mind. I'm wrong.
Hmm.
I'm retarded.
I mean, they can schedule it different times, I'm sure, but
Right.
let's see when New Orleans Mardi Gras is.
Well, let's go back to my earlier question. You still never told us about a prank.
Which one are you
Huh?
talking about? Me?
You? Yes.
Prank. Let's see.
I
A
don't know one that's
prank.
been done on me that's been
Okay. So
super
I'll tell
stupid.
one that I pulled with some buddies, and then I'll tell one that got pulled on me, and well, or would get pulled on us at work. I'm
Oh,
not
my
gonna.
bad.
I
March
can't
4th.
say
Sorry.
where this was at or who this was to, but this was funny. This was funny as hell. Me and some other buddies, we did this to a buddy of ours. We took a bunch of orange cones and we blocked off both ends of his street and his driveway so that in the morning he was so pissed he couldn't get out of the driveway. He didn't understand why the crap there was orange cones at the end of the driveway, and then he didn't know why they were at the end of both ends of the street.
Oh, yeah.
It was well, we took a while before we told him, uh, and it was us that did it. And then prank that got not necessarily just played on me, but got played on all of us at work when I was doing home restoration, home construction. The guys used to like to take Carmex and put it under the door handles of the work vehicles. And I got so mad one day because this one guy not only put it on the handle, I was driving like a box truck at that time. And when I say box truck, it was a white version of a Dorito truck or UPS truck, something like that. And he put it on the freaking step, and I almost busted my ass and landed on my face. And dude, I was so mad. I was, dude, I was angry. But that
Yep.
was a dangerous prank. They would take Carmex and rub it. Oh,
Yeah, we had. I'll tell you one that happened to me. I don't know if it's good, but it was the prank that I remember was this guy I worked with. He had a shop light, right, and it had a metal housing on the shop light, and he needed some help because he's working on a car, and he asked me to come help him. So I go over there and I start working on. And this is middle of summer. I'm sweating my balls off, and I'm as I'm working, the shop light touches my arm,
oh,
and
dude.
I feel something surge through me, and I was like, "The heck!" So I grab the shop light and then I stick it to my arm, and I feel it go and pull my arm in. Somehow he hooked that metal cage to 110,
Oh,
and so I
crap.
was getting directly shocked by 110, and I was like, "I think there's something wrong with your light," and he's laughing. And I'm like, you shouldn't shock somebody who's dripping with sweat with 110. Luckily, like electricity doesn't do much to me when I'm not, when I don't know I'm being shocked. I don't know what it is, but I've had people give me those pins and the lighters and stuff that shock you,
Right.
and they don't do anything to me because
They
I don't
don't
know it's
affect you.
happening. Well, I don't know it's happening. As soon as I know it's happening, then it hits me. I'm like, I don't know why that is. because I've had other people do that. Like I went to a guy's place and dropped off a part, and he handed me the pen. And he's like, "Here, just sign it for me." I was like, "Okay." So I'm hitting the pen, and I'm like, "The hell, it's not coming out." And then I feel the tingle a little bit, and I'm like, "Oh," I said, "I think there's something wrong with your pen. It won't eject." And he's like, "Dang, batteries must be dead." But when he hit it, he's like, "Well, nope, it's still good." He's like, "How's that not hitting you?"
That's
what it
good
is,
stuff.
I don't know.
That's good
Yeah.
stuff.
But
Hey,
that was the
Ferg,
one that was played on me. I don't suggest
bump
anyone else do. But
bump it down just a hair more. We'll get
What
it
you
right.
got now?
It's just when you get loud,
How
we'll
about
see.
now?
So far,
It's
so
good.
good.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
yeah, you
So
don't hook 110 to anything for a prank. I'll tell you that.
Right.
Do that.
Yeah, I apologize, guys. I'm telling you, I'm loud. I can't help it. My voice carries.
no, you're good, man.
I
Well, I
can't
mean, we
even
just got to
whisper.
key it in too, because
Right.
how
You're
often
opposite of
have you
me.
used that mic? You know, he just
Right. You're right.
we
Oh well, I'll tell you one thing I can do. I'll tell you what. How about I leave the volume? How about I move it away from me a little bit? That's something I can do. How about that?
It still sounds good.
Still sounds good.
Well,
Yeah.
your voice
Okay.
carries, unlike mine.
Oh
I
yeah.
have to
It
have the
does.
mic like
It
right
really
here.
does.
Plus, he's got a
I
mask on
honest to
his
God
face.
probably don't even need a mic.
These
It's unbelievable, unbelievable how loud my voice is.
these Under
And
Armour
I just
masks
I
don't block it as much though. They're really cool.
I'm not able to be quiet. So,
You're all
okay,
good.
here's a fun one. Here's a fun one, guys. Here's a fun one. Robert hinted to this before we started the podcast. Name a liquor or an alcoholic drink that will never be back in your life and why.
Whew. I
I'd
probably
like to
have
know
to
if you want
say
some time.
I'd probably say, and I don't remember the name of this alcohol, but I know for sure it was a Russian vodka, and I can tell you why. So I was in Germany for this
Uh-huh.
particular time. Me and the guys, we left the on post bar. We headed out. The bartender closed down. We still wanted to party, so the bartender's like, "Hey man, I know a guy that has a bar not far from us, and let's go." All right. So me and the guys were sitting there at the bar, and I'm drinking a beer. Well, the bartender of that bar says,
Uh-huh.
"Here, guys." I mean, he's got his German accent. I can't replicate for y'all guys,
Right.
but he says, um, "Here you go, free rounds of vodka." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know about no vodka." He's like, "Oh, this is good. This is Russian vodka." I was like, "Oh, ooh, okay." Well, I mean, I could do vodka, but this stuff is stout. So I would shoot that stuff, and then it took me a little while to realize what was happening. What was really happening was this bartender was gay, and he was trying to get
Oh.
one of us drunk.
So this is the prank question as well.
Yeah,
so,
yes, disease, you're right.
so he's trying to get one of us drunk, and I was like, after a couple shots, I was like, hold up now. I was like, so I kind of pulled the guys off to the side, and I said, hey, you better watch it. He's gonna keep feeding you shots. He's trying to see which one of you going home with him. And they were like, do what? And they were like, at this time, it's like 3 a.m, dude. We already have a buzz, or we're probably
Yeah,
drunk. But
nothing good happens after 3.
so he's like, come on, guys, another round, another round. I was like, oh hell no, nope. I was like, no, I'm good. I'll just stay with my beer. He's like, oh, party pooper, no fun. I was like, oh yeah, somebody pooper. so so
You roofied
uh,
that next one probably.
so
So to this day, no more vodka.
well, look, I've already had a few, so I was like, and then there's like nobody else except for us in this bar. So I'm like, look, guys, I said, y'all ready to roll out, or you're gonna stay drinking? They were like, oh, we're gonna stay drinking. We're getting free drinks. I was like, you getting free drinks for a reason, but I'm rolling out. So I left, but that I'll never drink a Russian vodka like that again.
Wow.
But not only it gets you backstage passes, but it was rough too. So
What about you, Disease?
Uh, Jägermeister. There's actually two
Jaeger.
I probably will never drink again. Jägermeister and
does this smell like chloroform? Uh,
there's another one called Juice. I used to drink Juice all the time.
Juice.
It's yeah, it's an alcohol with energy drink, and both of them are for pretty much the same reasons. I was drinking Jaeger bombs, and the other one is basically like a Jaeger bomb, and they
Okay.
just don't mix well with me. Like
Really?
I could drink two juices, I was okay. If I drank that third one, I was having a rough night.
Wow.
So I was like, nah.
Well, for me, it's Everclear. Oh my God. The
Ooh,
year I turned 21, me and
ooh,
some buddies around
Everclear.
Halloween
They tried to kill
got
you.
the bright idea that we were going to get this big batch of Everclear, this big ass bottle, and we were mixing it like with Jolly Ranchers and watermelon and all this crap. And we thought we were really doing something. We were going to party it up and had all this stuff. Dude, I swear, I've never been so sick in my life the next day that I swear I'll go to my grave and never have another drop of Everclear.
dude, I literally
We
ran
thought we
the
were
engine off
big
of
and
that.
bad, and we thought we were going to do something. And the thing of it is, at 21, hangovers weren't nearly as bad as they are as you get older, and you generally could get up and go at it the next night. But after that Everclear, oh man, I was destroyed. I was like, no more, never
Yep.
again, never, ever, ever.
For as strong as
And
Everclear is, it's still pretty smooth though, which is surprising.
Hmm,
gosh,
that
It
burns.
yeah,
evaporates quick though.
it
It
just it yeah
burns.
it got us. It got us pretty bad. And we thought we were doing something young, dumb, and of course, you don't realize how bad it is when you're mixing Jolly Ranchers in there and stuff like that. You're thinking, hey, this is pretty good. Next day, not so good.
Went straight
Not
for the
so good.
strongest stuff they make.
Oh my God, we were idiots. We were idiots. I had turned 21, and so I legally buy alcohol, and so yeah,
So you
big
buy the
idiot.
strongest stuff they make.
God, whew. Lesson
Mm-mm-mm.
learned.
Like drinking moonshine. Except for I
Oh my
think I'd
God.
I'd rather moonshine.
If
And
it's
I'll tell
done
you
right,
what,
man.
speaking of moonshine and speaking of those free shots, me and a good buddy of mine, uh, God, I wish I could tell names but I don't want to tell names on it. But one of my best buddies, one of the best guys I know on the planet, love this guy, and we used to hang out, spend a lot of time. We were going to go this little hole in the wall up the road, and we knew we had to work the next day, so we're just going to go shoot pool, have a couple beers. That's it, just a couple beers. And we're two or three beers in, and the girl behind the bar, she slides us a shot, and of course it's clear liquor, and so we're thinking it's a vodka or a tequila or something like that. So instantly, and I never chase any of them. I down them. I don't know if I ever chased anything, I chased it with a beer, and the whole liquor before beer, beer before liquor thing don't work on me. I'm not a
Yeah, me
thrower
either.
upper. I've never been a thrower upper. Now I did with that Everclear, but like for the most part with anything, not a thrower upper. That doesn't work. And so she slides us this shot, and we're thinking, okay, tequila, something like that. Whoop down, and we go on about our business and drink a few more beers and shooting pool. And later on, that's when they tell us that that was moonshine.
Hmm.
And so you talk about having a rough day the next day, going to work early. Oh, horrible. But I will say apple pie moonshine is very nice. Peach is very nice.
Yeah.
I believe they make a peanut butter, if I'm not mistaken.
That store bought moonshine I never did like. If you get somebody who knows
No,
how to make it, oh man,
yeah, the store boughts, they're really not. You can tell that it's a store bought.
yeah,
Put it to you
Yeah.
that way.
they water it down,
Yeah, they got some
and
people
it's too
around
sweet.
here make the real stuff.
No, not in Louisiana. No,
Never.
no.
No, but I do like some apple pie
Oh,
moonshine. Um, I can tell you one drink that'll give me chills when I smell it. Like literally, when I smell it, chills is Jose Cuervo.
Jose Cuervo.
Woo!
Which one though? They got like 4 different ones.
No, man. Is the original Jose Gold Cuervo.
Oh, the gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cuervo's
Not,
pretty good. One of the best tequilas I've had. Have you guys ever tried that Addictivo
mm-mm.
or Addictivo, however they say it?
No, I've
It's a
never
brown
tried Dick.
tequila.
No, I
Very
mean Dick
good.
Tebow.
Very good. Very smooth. But Patron, no. I'll never drink
Patron's
Patron
nasty.
ever again. Never gonna drink it again. We
I
went
don't
to a
like
party
Patron.
at my buddy's house one year, and one of the guys brought some Patron, and like a dumbass, he and I are drinking straight out of the bottle. And needless to say, by 8 o'clock, I already had to be piled into the car and taken home, and was not being the best version of myself, I promise. And so, no more Patron for me.
I don't
No
like the
more.
taste of Patron. It just doesn't taste that good for as much as you pay for it. Really.
Tell
I've
Oh,
you,
had way better.
the best tequila I ever tried when I worked in West Texas. A guy was his family lived in Mexico, so
uh
like
huh.
say when we would take our 2 weeks off or whatever however long you get to go home, he would go to Mexico and visit his family. Well, he's like, at the time I was a superintendent, and he's like, boss, I brought you something back. I was like, oh yeah, what you bring me back? He's like, I brought you some tequila from the homeland though,
Oh man.
not from America. I was like, oh, okay. So I mean, it had this man, it had like a mule on it or some kind of deer type, stag maybe. But
It was a
uh,
chupacabra.
look, we opened that thing up. I said, well, let's have a round since you bought it. And
Uh huh.
he's like, in Mexico it's cheap. And I
Oh
was like,
yeah.
okay.
You have to pay
So,
more though when you cross the border, but it's still cheaper.
well, man, we had a shot of that stuff, and it was so smooth. I was like, dang, hey, if I send you with some money, give me some more.
Heck yeah.
Like he'd bring me a bottle when he'd come back, and
Heck yeah.
dude, that was some smooth tequila.
Heck yeah.
Nothing like here. Like I don't
Right.
know what we doing wrong.
Processed garbage. No, I think a lot of our
Have you
alcohol that's
tried?
made here is made with high fructose corn syrup or something like that. I don't think it's
You're
made with
probably
actual
right.
sugar.
Have you tried
Yeah.
Terramania or Terramana, however they say it, the one that The Rock
Oh,
put
No,
I
out?
think
no, I
so.
haven't.
I've tried it. It's actually pretty good. It
Not
is.
gonna, not gonna lie,
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm a
I'm not a big
bourbon guy.
tequila fan.
I'm not a
I've tried a
huge
bunch of
tequila
different
fan,
ones, and
but
I just
what generally happens is you're sitting around and all you want to do is drink your beers. You don't want any shots. You don't want any liquor. And somebody gets the bright idea, hey, let's do shots. I had a buddy of mine, and I spent a lot before I moved back home. I moved back home here where I'm at in the year 2017. And before I moved back home, I spent a lot of time in a place called Jackson, Tennessee. Spent a lot of my nightlife there, spent a lot of my work life there, uh, going to the gym, did a lot of things there. And there was this one buddy of mine that I knew, he would always come in. He was a supervisor at one of the plants. I'm not going to say
Mm,
where. And no, that looks nothing like him.
that's his
Uh,
girlfriend.
it
nah,
could be.
I'll be
I've
right
seen
back.
Girlfriend.
Hey, I've seen some of those out there. There's plenty of those.
Oh, my bad.
But
He made me hit
this guy
the
would come
mic.
in. This guy would come in. You wouldn't even know he was there. He would slip in. He'd be down at that end of the bar, but he would see you, and you're like, oh crap, because you already knew he had plenty of money, and he always bought. He always paid for everything, and he's like, Fergie, I'm gonna need you to do some shots with me, buddy. And I'm like, oh God, and you know the guy's buying them, so you're setting them up and knocking them down, but you just want to drink your beers. You don't want to get hammered. You don't want to do shots. But this dude would come in and he made a lot of money and he refused. He wouldn't let you say no. He wanted you to party with him. And so he was always like, hey, we're going to do some shots. Oh, no. So that's how things like that usually happen. And that's how you discover certain liquors.
I've walked into a few of those.
But, you know, he's a great guy, and was always a good friend. And we always got pretty drunk.
Hey, I could tell you one thing. Back in it was maybe 2007. All right, we're in Germany, and we're at the On Post bar, and a buddy of mine, good friend, Dillard, he's like, man, let's mix a drink. So the bartender was cool with us, man. So we were like, Dillard's like, all right, let's do a Jaeger bomb and add a shot of vodka on the top, right? So what you would do is you drop the Jaeger in the Red Bull, then you take the shot
Oh,
of vodka,
wow. Almost
take the
like a
shot of
Boilermaker.
take the shot of vodka, pour on top, all right? Then you down it. Hey, let me tell you, it was like a slow, energetic hit, all right, with that mixed
Wow.
drink. It was actually pretty good, and we started calling it Dillard Bomb
Dillard bomb.
because he come up with the drink. So we started whenever we would go to the bar, we say, "Hey Neil, we need a Dillard Bomb," and he'd like fix a Dillard Bomb, which was Jaeger bomb with a shot of vodka on top. And you know, to this day, like say a few, I'd say back when after I got out of the military, then I moved back to Louisiana. We went to a bar many years ago, and they were making that shot. You know that they were making that shot, and they called it something
Really?
else. So that shot made it all the way back over here somehow, some way,
Wow.
because ain't nobody ever mixed nothing like that.
Nobody's ever
You
done that.
know,
Wow.
so I was like, dang. Uh, I said we call that a Dillard bomb because
Wow.
my good buddy, made that drink up while we're sitting there drinking.
Wow.
So,
Wow. That's something else right there.
but
Wow. We used to do what they call Irish car bombs. They tell you overseas they don't call them that. You don't say that. But
yeah,
we
they put you in handcuffs.
yes,
No.
but we used to do those. Those were pretty good. And as far as Jaeger bombs go, you know, I like those okay. And some friends of mine and I, the first time I went to a Yellow Wolf concert, we were in Nashville, and at the outside part of the venue, at that particular venue, they had drinks outside and inside the venue. So at all the events going on outside the venue before we actually got in the concert, well, they didn't have any Red Bull to do a proper Jaeger bomb, but they were giving out free monsters all over the place. And so what we did, we had got these cups that they had, and we were doing monster version of Jaeger bombs. And boy, yeah, we kind of got messed up.
Hmm.
I
Kind of
can't
rough,
drink Red Bull anymore either.
man. I now see. Here's the crazy thing. The crazy thing is like standardly, like normally, I wouldn't just drink a Red Bull. I don't like the flavor.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
don't
do
either.
it. But I will never walk into a store and buy a Red Bull and just buy it to drink it.
Have you ever tried absinthe?
I've never tried it, but I've heard about it.
It's all right. It's similar to the flavor profile
Similar to
is
Jaeger.
somewhat similar to Jaeger, but it's a little different, especially if you do it the way you're supposed to, where you drip it over sugar sugar cube.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay.
But finding real absinthe is hard to find in the U.S.
Right.
They'll
Yeah,
call
I
it
did try
absinthe, but
that.
it's just flavored.
I did try absinthe when I was over there, and they definitely prepare it like I've never seen it before. Like when when I, so the bartender takes it and they put water in a glass. All right, I was like, water? Hmm, all right. So then they put this little spoon with holes on top of the glass. Then they put a
Huh.
sugar cube on top of where the holes are, and then they pour the absinthe over the sugar cube,
Oh,
and it
wow.
almost like dissolves it. But then if it doesn't dissolve, she'll like the bartender put it in the glass and stirred it, and then you drink it like that. Let me tell you, that right there finished my night. Like I was done.
Wow, that's
It's good
interesting.
stuff, though.
It's like black licorice, and I am not a black licorice fan.
Oh, okay.
It's all right.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the dark licorice. Huh.
It's not
Maybe
super
I'm a
super
weirdo.
strong. At least the one I tried wasn't the absinthe, the licorice flavor.
Mm.
But it
Okay,
depends on the one you get.
so you've talked about Germany a lot. You know, when my brother was in the Navy, he did 2 stints in Japan. He always talked about Japan. He always liked it. What was one of your favorite duty stations outside of the States? Was it Germany or was it somewhere else?
I'd say Germany. I mean, I wanted to get orders for Japan. That'd be nice.
Right?
Uh, I love Japanese food.
Mm-hmm.
And Taiwan, like Taiwan food, like it's spicy. I like it too.
Okay.
Um, but I had a roommate. He was from, he, I don't, it was somewhere by Taiwan, but he could prepare the dish like you know how you get a spring roll, shrimp spring roll, a very small um, egg roll, but no eggs.
Okay.
And he would make those homemade, fry them up, and be like, "Here you go, buddy." Like that dude would like share. Like he was one of the nicest guys I ever met.
Oh,
Like
wow.
from another country, um, but he cooked all kinds of dishes, right? And him and his family flew over to visit. So he called. He's like, "Hey man, family's gonna be over. Come eat with us." I was like, "All right." So I get over
Heck yeah,
there,
don't
and
bite
they
if they
got
do.
the man. There is so much food prepared, and the elderly ladies are the ones fixing the food for you, and they're like this,
So
like
you know it's good.
they don't know what, like they don't really speak English, so they're just fixing my stuff, right? Well, I get something that looks like a salad, and there's this pepper on top of my salad, right? So I'll sit there and I'm like eating. Then I get to that salad and I eat that pepper. Hey, so my face turned red.
Oh,
I
boy.
started sweating, and he comes over there. He's like, "You all right?" I said, "I just ate this hot ass pepper," and he's like, "No, no, pepper is decoration. Don't eat
Oh,
pepper. It's hot." I'm like, "Yes, it is hot."
Now you tell me.
But no, man. Uh, Germany was the first place I tried escargot,
okay.
snails. So that actually tastes pretty good.
Really?
Oh yeah,
I've never had snails,
they
and I
are.
refuse to eat frog legs. I know they're good. I just can't
Oh,
do
I
it.
like
I've
frog
had frog
legs.
legs. Frog legs,
I
and
can't,
I'll
man.
tell you what's interesting. We took a trip a few years back, and there was a restaurant that actually served frog legs, the fried frog legs, and I couldn't believe it that my kids actually tried them. I would have thought they would have been grossed out and all that, and believe it or not, shocked me to death. They tried it, and they liked them. And so that was a big shock for me because normally my guys are a little bit. My oldest son's not as picky, but my youngest son's very picky. Middle son's more of a fruit and veggie boy, but he's not as picky, but he's a little more pickier than my older son, and it just shocked me that they like the frog legs.
Have you ever had alligator?
Never, but I've heard it's really good. I've heard a
It is.
lot of people
Yeah.
talk about it. I've heard a
It is.
lot of people talk about it.
It's also one of those things that depends
Don't
on
they
who
make an
cooks it and
alligator
how
po'
old
boy?
it is. Yeah.
I'm
In
sure they
New
do.
Orleans. In New
I was
Orleans,
gonna
you can
say
get it.
I've heard don't they make an alligator
I
po'
don't know
boy?
anywhere else.
Kinder.
Oh, Fausto's used to make it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Kinder.
Fausto's used to make it.
Yeah, it's
But
about
it,
15 minutes away from the house. They make
Okay.
they got alligator. Or I can go
yeah.
get you some alligator meat and make you something.
I've I've had it a few times, and it's good when it's done right, and it's a bit iffy when it's not.
So what's
I
what's
used
It's
the
one of those
proper
things.
way to
I used to
you
hunt
guys
alligator
you
when
guys
I
know
lived in
so
Florida.
what's the proper way to cook and prepare alligator? How do they do that?
Fried is
Yeah,
mainly
most
what they do.
most of the time it's fried.
You can cook a gravy, sauce piquant. Um, but I mean, I like to fry little like strips of alligator, which I learned really quick when I lived in Florida. I started doing the alligator hunts, right?
Okay.
And over there in Florida is totally different than Louisiana. You watch Swamp People. You ever watch Swamp People?
I have.
Nothing near Swamp People. All right. So during
Really?
the day, Louisiana allows you to hunt alligator. In Florida, you can only hunt alligator at night. So it's
Gotcha.
6 p.m. to 6 a.m. You cannot have a gun on the boat. You can only have a bang stick. You cannot bait hooks. You have to have a 2 inch by 2 inch wooden dowel, and you can tie your meat to that little wooden dowel, which is a little block. And what happens is when
Yeah, I know what a
swallow,
dowel pin looks like.
they'll swallow it, and then it gets hung up. And you can pull them up, but you have to have it tied to the boat. You can't set them. So what we would do is we'd scout an area, find some alligators, and I think the biggest one we caught was 12 foot 3 inches, and
Oh
that was a
wow.
massive gator.
Wow. Yeah, 12 foot. Wow. That's
Uh,
tail and all.
oh yeah.
That's
So
long, almost as tall as Kobe Bryant.
yeah,
Kobe was six
but
six.
so I tell you, the bigger ones they're tough. All right. So
Yeah,
the
meats.
ones that you really want to go for is
You
probably
you
like
mean the
six.
meat is tough?
Yes.
You're talking about the
Yeah.
meat is tough.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
Tough.
old. They've been around. You
Yeah.
know,
So
a
mainly
little
we would go
young.
for like a 7 foot, 6 foot, and what you do the tail meat's good, the jaw meat's good, the back strap, uh, there's meat in the hands, the arms, but we would take it and you batter it up or marinate it, batter it up, and you can make strips and then fry it. And man, that's some good eating.
Are the
Really?
testicles
Wow.
good to eat?
I've never done that. Never ate that. You probably like
I
some mountain
somehow
oysters under
knew that
these.
was going to come
No,
into
those wouldn't
play.
be
Some
mountain
mountain
oysters. They'd just be
oysters.
regulars.
That's some of
No.
that drunk food right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the drunk food. Yeah, there
yeah.
you go.
I
Drunk
don't care.
food. You
You'd
got to be
have.
That
drunk to
right
eat them.
there is alligator testicle. You eat that when you've been drinking
I
now.
have
Maybe that's what
never.
that old boy was trying to do in Germany with the vodka. He was trying to get you drunk enough to try some mountain oysters.
He ain't trying these oysters. Yeah, yeah. I don't think I would ever be drunk enough.
You know, that's
But
that's one of the things that I will say. You know, we've talked about alcohol, we've talked about drinking and things like that. One thing about me, I've always been able to still be cognizant. I've always still had my mind, and that's what's crazy about it is I'll never forget the night that I was at a Buffalo Wild Wings, and the bartender knew me very well. We knew each other, and at one point, I mean, I knew all the managers, all the servers, all the girls. I knew everybody, and you come in there and you're well known, and so there was one night some of my buddies were telling the bartender, said, "Hey, cut him off. Ferg's done." And he's like, "But he's holding a conversation. He's cognizant, like he's doing like he always does. He's still talking good. He's not slurring or whatever." They said, "Look, that's what he does, but we know he's not, cut him off. We know." Because I can stay cognizant to a certain degree quite a bit and for a while, but the thing about it is I'll talk. And so
He's talking too
your
much.
biggest
Cut him off.
your biggest struggle is getting me to shut up. I'm one of those happy people that if we're having drinks, I want everybody to have a good time. I want everybody to smile. I want people to laugh. I want people to be enjoying life. No drama, no fussing, none of that things. And so it's just amazing that I've been able to remain cognizant, but my friends are still like, "Okay, he's talking, he's doing good, but we know he's done. Let's get out of here."
Yeah. It's that same way with me and Hooters.
Lots of fun. I'm not impressed with Hooters. I'm not. The few
I'm
times
not. I'm more of
that
an
I-
ass man too.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I mean I like Hooters if they're nice,
Oh, I'm
especially.
sorry. I misread the room.
But I'm speaking of the establishment. The times that I've been to the establishment, I'll just be honest with you. The
Like I
girl,
had to explain that.
the the service was poor, and the advertisement didn't match what
false.
was inside the restaurant.
That's what I'll say.
I'll say it that I'll be nice. The advertisement didn't match what was in the restaurant, and the service was poor.
Yeah, I want to open one called
And they don't
Hooters,
have the
and it's for
best
ass men.
food. I mean, they've got that's probably drunk food because I've been to places that serve better wings. I promise you. I mean,
Yeah.
though it's not the best food menu, and there are actually other establishments that have copied their model and have done a better job at presenting Hooters.
Yeah. It's hard to
So-
find good Hooters these days.
Hey, I'm
What's
not
up?
opinionated, am I?
No.
Not in the least.
All right, so
And but that's what it is. It's opinions. Oh wow, what have we
here-
got here? This Germany?
this here is the Heidelberg Castle in Germany.
That's beautiful.
So I've walked through there. I've went
I used
to
to
the
own that.
gardens in the back. So if you notice right here,
Oh,
see this tower?
Yes.
Yeah. Haunted.
So during I think it was World War II, they were storing ammunition in that tower, and
Oh, wow.
lightning hit that tower, and the ignition it ignited the ammunition and blew that
Holy
tower
cow.
out. So that's what
Wow.
you have right there.
Man, that must
Man.
have been a huge blowjob
Literally.
for that tower.
Wow.
They rebuilt it or something?
No, that's how it is. It's just,
Oh,
Wow.
that's an actual picture. What are you talking about? Rebuilt?
well, you said this tower right here. I figured the tower would be
This
gone.
tower right here, it's gone. It is gone.
Right, it's gone.
This is
it's
only
not-
half
one
of it.
behind it.
This is how. That's in the back
Can't
of
tell
the
that
castle.
from a picture. Oh, okay, all right. So
It
there
looks
was two
like
towers,
this.
and now there's only
Look
one.
like
tower.
this, except for bigger. But
and
right
then that
here,
one's gone. Wow.
yeah, this is only half of a tower. Let's see if I can find the original.
I wonder if in Germany they have a Luftwaffe house.
There's
They
actually
may
a
have.
dining cart. It's the caboose of a train, and they have like where they do breakfast, hamburgers and stuff.
Hey.
It's pretty awesome.
Heck yeah. Well, I'll never forget. We were working a job in Memphis. We were down in Memphis, Tennessee, working a job whenever I was still doing home restoration, and we happened
What
to
was
get
her
into. I can't tell that. we happened to get up into the upstairs, some of the rooms that we were going through, and we found this
Oh, excuse me.
dagger. And this dagger, come to find out, it really was from World War II. And you could read the writing on the end of the dagger. I mean, it had the swastika symbol, and on the dagger it said "Alles für Deutschland," which I guess is all for the motherland or whatnot, in German. We looked it up. We actually researched it, and that dagger that we were holding, I think it was worth about 150 bucks, not an absorbent price, but still it was pretty cool because we could authenticate it. It was authentic, German dagger from World War II, and we had never seen anything like that. But a lot of people brought stuff over from the war, and we suspected that it was this person's grandparents and whatnot. Of course, we turned it
I
in. We had no
I have a
choice.
dagger from World War II.
But
You want to see it?
but I thought that was really really cool because I'd never seen anything like that before, and so I was like, dude, this is pretty sweet.
I have one from World War II.
You do?
Yeah, do you want to see it?
I don't think I do. This
Oh,
might be a prank. We were talking
no, it's not.
pranks
It's
earlier.
not a prank. I'll have to go get it though.
Oh, okay. Roger that.
Hang on. I'll be right back.
Roger that. But no, I thought that was really cool. We had never seen an authentic artifact like that. Not while working on houses. Now we found some obscure objects in plenty of houses. You find lots of objects when you work home restoration.
So this is a digitally constructed. I've been trying to find a actual picture, which check it out, man.
Yeah. What you
I
got?
was at a flea market and I seen this tapestry. You know what a tapestry is?
Sure.
It's like so I seen it on the wall and I was like, man, that castle looks damn familiar. So I was like, I looked it up. I looked at Heidelberg Castle. It
Oh
was
wow.
so it's the tapestry before the tower exploded.
Oh
Before,
wow. So on the tapestry, the design of the castle, they had it in the original form
yep, yep. It
while
was
that tower still
like it
existed.
was this thing's threaded, dude. Like I'm talking about, it's so old that you have to be careful with this tapestry. So they had it just nailed to the wall in this flea market.
Wow.
I said, what do you want for that? They were like, oh, we just using it for decoration. I said, well, just give me
No
a price.
kidding?
Yeah. So I was like, give me a price. And so they're like, the lady's not here. Let me make a phone call. So she's like, $20. I said,
Dude.
done. So I got this tapestry. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it's in my other room, but I
Yeah.
got it on the wall, but I don't have it nailed or anything. I got it like laid up on this rack. All right,
Right.
but I'm talking. This thing's so old. You have to be careful with it because it was back when they threaded the weaved it together.
That was handcrafted. That's worth more than $20.
Hey,
Promise.
dude, I sent a picture to one of my buddies I was stationed with, and I said, what's this look like? He said, the Heidelberg Castle. I said, exactly. It's laid out, dude, just like the picture I just showed you, where the bridge,
Wow.
it shows the bridge and the little houses back in the day when there was only just a couple little villages and stuff. I
Super
was
cool.
like, so I came across a golden egg, which it means more to me than somebody might be like, oh,
Right.
that
You
ain't worth
spent
junk.
time there. Absolutely.
But yeah, that was pretty awesome. But here's the digital picture of before they.
I found my dagger. I had to unzip my pants. Hang on a second.
So so this is what the tower would have looked like, I guess. This is what they're saying: Heidelberg Castle digitally constructed to its
Okay.
17th century glory. It was the
Okay.
17th century. So
That's like over 100 years ago.
so this section, you can see this was on half of this was left,
Right.
but
Do you have a photo of the tapestry?
no. I don't have it on here. No.
Okay.
It is in one of our previous episodes. You can see part of it in the background of one of our first episodes.
Right.
Easter egg. It's an Easter egg.
But
Heck yeah.
yeah, that
Cool. Yeah.
It's a Japanese dagger. It was from World War II.
Oh, okay.
You see, it's got the little flower on it. It's called a mum, and
Okay.
normally, because they lost the war, those are supposed to be scratched out, but they're not on this one.
Huh.
I also have the
And that's
sword too.
World War II.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
all ceremonial. It's not sharp. It's very,
Right.
very blunt.
Okay.
You can see the edge is blunt.
How'd you come across that?
I have a relative who was taking care of someone and they sold it. And
Oh, okay. I
They
got
were
you.
gonna sell it, and I was like, I want it. How much? And so
Right.
I got it. He also had an Araskaya rifle, which I still haven't gotten from him. Hopefully, he still has.
Heck yeah.
But I have the sword too, and the sword still has the little flowers on it as well.
Heck yeah.
But it's all from World War II. But it's Japanese.
It's unbelievable
guess-
the stuff that made it back over here that the soldiers and so forth, they were able to bring back, which nowadays you couldn't do that. There's so much security on flights and so forth, but it's always been amazing to me. In fact, one of the most I'll go ahead and say that, Robert, you'll appreciate this. One of the most amazing people I ever met. And that's the thing, when I was doing home restoration, you never knew who you were going to meet. You never knew who a client was going to be. One of the people I met, and I got to shake her hand, she was one of the original members in one of the nursing corps during World War II.
Thanks.
Because of course, we had a nursing corps to take care of the soldiers and whatnot. And I thought it was so cool. She was way up in the years, but we don't think about them doing their part to serve. And I thought, wow, this, like, you just never know who you're going to meet. You meet some fantastic people, and everybody's got a story to tell, but not everybody's story gets told.
yeah.
I thought it was so cool.
It is, and then
Yeah.
those people are getting up there in age now, so there's not many left.
I don't think we have many World War II vets left, do we?
Very
Not,
few.
not from World War II.
I mean,
And even our Korean
It would
and
have to be
Vietnam
Vietnam,
vets
yeah.
close to it.
Yeah, the Vietnam. There's not many of those left.
right.
They'll
They'd
be
have to be
saying that
close to
about us
100.
pretty soon.
To be World War II. That is
So, I guess the story was told to me incorrectly
Okay.
about the Heidelberg Castle. So,
Okay.
doing the research on it, it did get hit by lightning, but it was destroyed by lightning 1537.
Oh, wow.
So well
So it
before
wasn't destroyed
well
with the
before Nazis.
Oh, okay.
So they rebuilt the tower then?
No, because it still looks like
Still
that
like
when I was there. Which the story when I was over there, they said that the Nazis had stored ammunitions in that tower. Now they may have stored it somewhere, but I don't. From the looks of this information, the tower was destroyed well before Nazis came about.
Hmm.
So
That kind of reminds me, like how many stories you hear, like now we have digital cameras and stuff. We can record
Right.
everything and we can verify everything. But back then they didn't. It was all word of mouth. You had to trust the person who was telling
Okay.
you this stuff. So.
That's what amazes me. We live in a world where phones are everywhere, right? Cameras are everywhere. But doesn't it amaze you when you go back and look at old films or like, they have an unbelievable amount of freaking footage of just about every damn thing. Like, we say we live in this world of technology, and we do, obviously, but they were at no loss for footage and film, it seems like. I mean, you see bukus and buku. It may be in black and white, or then later when they added Technicolor. But it's like somebody somewhere always had a video camera somehow, and I don't know
Yeah.
how. But like it seems like we've got so much footage. It's like, how did they even have this?
Let me break
You
out
know,
the suitcase right quick.
yeah, tons of footage of just about everything. I mean, you think about it, and one thing that amazed me when I was in college, when I went to college and they showed us the footage of some of the throngs of people during Nazi Germany, it's unbelievable how many young ladies were swooned by Hitler. They would bring him bouquets of flowers.
So,
And I was like, wow, you hear about, and of course he was an evil man, but you hear all these things, negative things about, but to see people swoon and to see the throngs of the crowd, it's just unbelievable.
that dude must
And
have had one hell of
yet
a silver
again, it's
tongue.
like
No, he was
it's like
popular. He was very
it's
popular.
like how
People
the
liked him.
crap though, how the crap do we have all that footage though? It's crazy that we actually have all that footage.
Well, there was a lot of people. We just like now you have adopters of technology. People jump on the newest thing, have to have the newest iPhone or whatever. Well, back then, uh, your newest technology was that. So you probably had a lot of people getting it and using it.
But back then it wasn't owned just by every normal day people. Like almost
Well, no.
anybody can have a phone now, but you had to
Yeah.
have some major money to have a camera back then, right?
Yeah, well, just
Well,
like when things come out now, it's expensive, and as it progresses and gets more and more popular, and it the production
you,
gets more and more, it
you gotta
becomes
you gotta think
ubiquitous.
about
So,
Hitler had so many scientists that could have created him any kind of camera
Well, you're probably
on
right
top of
about
him.
that.
I mean, they created. They're like I'm gonna tell you, like the scientists in Europe, they're not lazy. So
No, there's some smart dudes, and they'll
so
work overtime if they have to.
But that's why Americans brought over after the fall of the Nazis. They brought over a lot of these scientists. You
UK
know,
did too.
yeah. So there's no telling what kind of technology they had at that time. And I can tell you one I did read about was the submarine, the first submarine for the
The
Nazis.
U-boat.
The U-boat.
Yeah, that
It was
could
electric.
reflect sonar. You know what they did to do that? They covered it with rubber. So
Really?
rubber would not bounce back the sonar; it would absorb the sonar.
And so they couldn't
So
detect the location.
they could not
Wow.
detect the submarine, which that was interesting to read about.
Heck yeah, those dudes were
So
super smart.
It had to reduce its speed though, because rubber in the water usually causes drag. They're probably a little slower coming.
Wow.
At least that would be. And a lot of the U-boats when they first made them, they were actually electric. They ran off of batteries, which is interesting. You would think they would be like some type of combustion, but they knew that the carbon monoxide buildup would be bad. That's why they went to
Okay, so
nuclear with the.
I'm going to cut in here since we're talking about boats. Let's make this a little fun again. Have you guys ridden on any of the? And I may be wrong. I don't know the proper term, so please forgive me. But you guys are in Louisiana. Have you ridden on any of those swamp boats that you
all
see?
the airboats.
I've
Yeah,
Yeah,
never been on
yeah.
one.
Have you guys rode on those, and how fun are they?
I've when I was younger, I rode on one. I haven't
Are
rode
they
in
fun?
any. I mean, back when I was younger, yeah, it seemed like they were fun. I mean, it's been a long time since I've rode on one. So
I've never been on one.
they do
You've
swamp
never been on
tours
one of
now.
those airboats?
They do
No.
swamp tours.
Okay. Yeah, I knew they did swamp tours. A buddy of mine and his wife had went down. They take a couple trips, and that's why I was thinking of taking a trip. And they were telling me about this tour, and the guy is feeding the alligators marshmallows. But they were talking about going out on one of those boats and everything, and how the guy's just driving the heck out of it. And I got to thinking, we're talking about U-boats and boats, and I said, hey, You guys are in Louisiana. Have you been on one of those boats?
It's
Hey,
been a
we
I know
long.
they're
can't get
pretty
out of
loud.
this podcast. We cannot get out of this podcast without talking about music. I won't let us. So, talk to me about some of the blues and the Zydeco music that you guys hear and that
Zydeco.
you've got prominent down there all around you. Talk to me a little bit about it.
So the Cajun music is it's pronounced Zydeco.
Zydeco. Okay.
Yeah,
My
Zydeco.
apologies.
No, you good. It's just so. I
It's
mean, you
Cajun
have
French.
yeah.
It's
It's
said
just
different, pronounced different than regular French too.
yeah. We might
Some
have
of
to
it.
play. You've heard it before, huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've heard some. I was trying to think of this. There was actually a guy that I knew that I when I listened to it, there's a guy that was pretty famous for it. And I was trying to
Wayne
think of his
Toops.
name.
Yeah, Wayne Toops. You
He's
have
probably the most
man.
prominent one right now. Huh?
Yeah, most people
Okay.
know Wayne Toops. Let's see. Let's
You gonna pull us up a sample?
see.
That there Ryan guy said Keith Franks.
Don't get us copyrighted, man.
Mm,
Wasn't there a buckwheat Zydeco
there
at one
is.
point?
Yep.
Yeah.
There is a Buckwheat Zydeco. Then they had uh, Clifton Chenier. Um, there's a lot. Man, they got hometown Zydeco bands. Let's see. Oh, I used to work with a guy that had his own Zydeco band, and I had a disc. They called the Bayou Cats.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and dude, I love their music,
Get down
but
with it.
I can't find like they stopped playing, and like unless they started back, I don't know, but uh, they had some great music back in the day.
How far are you from Shreveport?
Uh,
About three
Probably,
hours.
yeah.
Oh, okay, quite a way. Okay. Well, I knew
Yeah.
Kenny Wayne Shepherd was from Shreveport, and of course, Leadbelly's from down there too. You're familiar with Leadbelly?
No.
No?
Letterman.
Oh man, he's a blues legend.
Is that his name? Wasn't his name
Yeah,
Letterman? Or something?
Leadbelly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
blues
I'm
is
not too big on blues.
all over Louisiana, New Orleans down there.
Mm, so
Yeah, they do the jazz and blues.
Keith Frank.
Jazz festivals.
You ever heard of Keith Frank?
Hang on, it broke up a bit.
I don't think I've heard of him. But I was just curious. I didn't know, like, because I know it's a thriving scene and there's still a lot of street musicians, correct?
What do you mean by the street
Well,
musicians?
well, not necessarily what you would call street musicians, but say you're walking down Bourbon
Oh,
Street or
somebody
whatever.
playing on the corner or something?
Right, you're gonna have someone playing or playing out of a venue like a restaurant or a stop
Oh
there.
yeah, at the restaurants, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that's mostly New Orleans because here you get run over.
Yeah. Or you're in a bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
If
Gotcha.
playing on the street, you're gonna get hit by a diesel or something probably. But we got plenty of lawyers to take care of you if you do.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there's
There
plenty
you
of
go.
those. I tell you what,
Now I'll tell
I
you,
don't
these lawyers are everywhere.
I don't want to play it on the show, but I'll play you a little something before you leave.
Yeah. Don't do anything on the show that would compromise the show or do a copyright issue,
Yeah,
since they're
it'd be
kind of
different
being
if they were on
anal
the
about
show.
that. Right. But I was just curious. I thought, we got to talk a little bit about music, and I know you guys have a rich and deep musical history there, and so I thought I'd ask about the Zydeco and some of the blues, jazz,
I'll tell you what, if you love blues,
I do.
there's a guy I interviewed in earlier in the podcast is York, and he's from the Carolinas, but
Okay.
that guy there, he does music therapy for disabled veterans,
Oh,
and he
wow.
plays and writes blues. So he does very well. So I need to get
Heck
back
yeah.
in. It's coming around time where I reach back in touch with these guys, you know, see how things have been going, and he's one of the ones on the list. So he was after the band 42. So
Well,
yeah, he
blues music can bring you up. There's been a lot of time, which I love a lot of rock and roll, heavy metal. Obviously, you see it behind me. You see, but you can't have any of that without the blues. And I just have found there's been times in my life where I've been very private and nobody even knows what I'm going through or what I'm doing. And I'll sit down and man, I'll turn on some blues. And after a while listening to blues, you start feeling good. I don't know how to explain it, but the blues will bring you up. And I heard one old blues musician explain it the best that I've ever heard it explained. All the blues is a good man feeling bad. And I said, that's a great, pure, simple explanation right there. And then one of my favorites, I love the song that Cootie Stark sang. He said, I've never seen a new home behind a hearse. I said, man, that's great. That's a great line right there. And he was on up in years when I heard him singing that. It's a great, great old blues singer. And I've never forgot that line. And I thought, man, that's great because we trust all this stuff that we got here on the earth. We love all this stuff that we got, but we're not taking it with us when we get out of here, brother.
Nope. We'll have all new stuff.
Oh yeah, Otis Redding's wonderful, fantastic, fantastic. Can't beat it. A voice that's unmistakable all day long.
yeah, it they got a lot of good music around here, man, and I don't think they're advertised enough. So like there's some that
Probably not, to
I'm
be
still
honest.
learning about. That's like I'd never heard of that. You know, what a while back I went to that. Oh man, they had that event. I'm trying to remember the name. Let's see. L.A. Rocks, that band.
Oh yeah.
So I still need to reach out to them. But like I coming across them, I've always heard the Chiwis. You ever heard of them?
The who?
Chiwis.
No, I've not heard of them.
It's I think they're out of New Orleans.
Okay,
They do a lot of cover band or cover music for like Journey, uh, Oreo Speedwagon, stuff like that.
gotcha.
I want to ask y'all something when you get done talking about the
Sure.
blues.
What you got?
What do y'all think about all these new invasive species coming in? You seen this?
The what?
Invasive species,
Not
like
heard
the
of it.
the,
What is that?
the like in Florida where they have the
Snake.
snakes and
Mhm.
the fish that are being taken over the different habitats and stuff because they're trying to say people are dumping them off or whatever, but they got anacondas now in Florida. They got uh, all kinds of just invasive species of creatures taking over.
Well, this is the first I've heard of it.
What?
But I'll be
You didn't know
honest with
about
you
that?
guys, I don't keep up with a lot of news. I really don't. My life's been so busy with work, and then ever since doing the podcast and things like that, I'll be honest with you, I really don't catch a lot of news. Once in a while, something will pop up in my feed, and everybody's like, man, where have you been? You're lost. You don't know what's going on in the world. But honestly, I guess I don't. Maybe I'm living in somewhat of a bubble, but I'm having a blast.
Well,
But
I saw.
this is the first I've heard of that.
Oh, it's
So
really
it's
it's a
so it's
huge problem in
changing.
Florida.
So it's changing the habitat, the wildlife habitat there in Florida.
You know, we
Oh
have it
yeah,
here
yeah,
too, right?
yeah.
In Louisiana.
In Texas, they've got somebody somehow put crawfish from Australia in different areas over there, and these crawfish
Really?
are huge. They're taking over the habitat of the natural
Dude, I
crawfish.
wish they'd take over the habitat
Happening
over here.
everywhere.
I love crawfish.
It, but
What do you
at
think
some
the
point,
purpose of all that is? Like, I don't know. What would someone's purpose be?
So the
exactly, that's what
snakeheads,
doesn't
the
make sense.
like the snakeheads in Florida, were brought over by Orientals.
Yeah.
So they
Okay.
eat those fish, right? So they probably brought them over to try to breed them and catch them to eat them. I may be wrong, but I'm telling you, most times these certain fish they're brought over is it tilapia? Uh,
Yeah,
I don't even know if they're native, are they?
They're not native. No, they're from the
Uh,
Middle East.
I think their story
they're
was they were
very
brought over.
bland. Also, tilapia is so bland. You've got to season the heck out of tilapia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you eating the farm raised tilapia or the wild? Because farm raised almost always is bland. You can get farm raised trout and farm raised um, salmon, and it's a lot blander than your wilder
Right.
counterparts. So
Oh,
you
I love
gotta.
some salmon now.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
You want
now
to
the
talk
I'm a,
about
salmon, the
good eat?
farm raised salmon is still
Man,
pretty
some
decent,
black and
but the
oh
wild
my
stuff is
God,
way better. If you
really.
have the chance, try the wild versus the farm raised. It is so much different. I've had both,
Now
and
I'll
I'm gonna
tell
tell
you
you the
something
wild
I
is better.
tried last year that blew my socks off. I'm sure you guys have heard of the ahi tuna. It's kind
Mm.
of like your raw tuna. Well, I'd never tried that before, and we had stopped. We had went to a concert last year, and we had stopped at this venue, and they had this ahi tuna bowl, and I was reading all the ingredients in it, and I thought, man, that sounds pretty good. I'd like to try that, and I didn't know that it was raw, but believe it or not, but it was diced up. It was small, and dude, you talk about some of the best stuff I ever put in my mouth. I mean, phenomenal food bowl, and the tuna was great. I had it would have never dawned on me to eat it like that. I know I'm probably uh, much less cultured than everyone else, but that was great
man.
stuff.
There's stuff I've learned. You know, like what was it? You ever had red snapper?
I've had red snapper.
That is some of the best fish I ever ate.
It's good.
Um,
Only if the carpet
Yeah.
matches the drapes, though.
Hey, um
yeah.
yeah,
You finally got it.
yeah. I've had reds, I've had brunettes, I've had blondes.
The brunette snappers never call you back.
Mm-mm-mm.
You piss them off, they really get snappy.
Them blonde
Yeah.
snappers are just crazy, crazy.
Oh, I got to be careful what I tell on myself on here. I got to keep
Mm.
up a little bit of integrity. Nobody will watch the shows.
Yeah, but
Red
Can't
snapper's one
seem
of the
like
best
a
fish, though.
creeper
It
here.
is. It tastes so good. So good.
They have any of those red snappers on SpongeBob?
mm,
Probably, if you play your cards right.
Maybe. You know, we were talking music a few minutes ago, Robert. You've got a microphone behind you, the new paintings. Talk to
yeah.
us about the new paintings. I love the artwork back there. Didn't you? You
Uh,
recently got those, right?
yeah.
Yeah, talk about
Other
it.
than my canvas that I have of the show, it was looking a little bland. And my original intentions were to get something from each band that we interviewed, but that's a hit or miss
Right.
here lately. So I know they're busy.
You're gonna
So
need a bigger wall.
I wanted to add something that would kind of dress it up, and I could always fit something in between as they come in. And I wanted to do something more, not totally music, but I wanted something music. So I wanted the mic, which represented, to me, like doing the podcast. Now,
Absolutely.
also with
And my friend Mike.
with,
That's right.
Shout out to you, Mike. You know who you are.
each canvas, represents, you know, you have the headphones, then you have, like the music symbols, which we interview artists. So I wanted to kind of mix it up, and it also has some of the colors that my canvas has. So
Hmm.
it's just to dress up the wall, man. The background, make it a little less bland, and we're still working on adding more stuff to it. So you never
Well,
know
I like
what'll
it.
end up.
I think it's very fitting. I like it. It's very fitting.
Never know what's going to end up back there.
Might be some red snapper back there.
Phew.
I might have to change my background.
No.
See, this is what you get for calling your show BSing. See?
Hey, but naming it BSing, you can
Yeah.
actually, it's almost like an open-ended question.
Yeah.
You, you know what I'm saying? You have so many answers.
And it's automatically 18 plus too, so we don't have to worry about age restriction.
Yes, automatically.
Oh, guys, this is a lot
Mom,
of
can
fun.
I watch
Laughter's
bullshitting?
great.
No, you can't. It's 18 plus.
I got one for you guys.
Sure,
Which
sure.
which video game destroyed the most hours of your life?
Ooh, took away the most hours of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So you're basically asking some of my favorite games.
I would say the favorite game.
Oh my
Which
God.
which one had, even as a child or growing up, which
I got
game
two.
had you stuck?
I've had me say that again.
Like which game had you spending every day or almost every day or several
Oh my
hours?
God, I got you. I got you. Two games in particular, which led to a third game. I'm going to be dating myself here.
He's
Nintendo
gonna say Red
64
Snapper.
Ogre Battle.
Oh,
Ogre Battle
Battle.
on the Nintendo 64. It was a strategy game
I heard it was
where
good. I never played that one.
it was a strategy role-playing game, and you set characters on different grids, and you had other characters around them that could level up and go from a soldier to a paladin to another like type of knight or whatever. And of course, your main
Never
character
played that one.
would grow, and you had to have strategy to set them in certain strategic places on the map where they were going to meet certain enemies. And with Ogre Battle, you had so many different characters you could choose to start the game with. I think there was somewhere upwards of 10 to 16 different story endings at the end of the game, depending on how you played it. And then the second game, and I played it on my laptop. My kids were very small at the time, and I was looking for a game that you couldn't just beat it within a few days, and now you got nothing else to look forward to. When you beat a game in a couple days, what else is there to look forward to? So I was like, I want a game that I can play for a little while. Oblivion,
Uh,
the Elder Scrolls game Oblivion. And I know they re-released it recently with new graphics and everything. It looks badass. I've seen it. It's amazing. I haven't
On the wish list.
played it since they re-released it, and I wanted to, but I've got too much other stuff on my plate, so I haven't. But when I was playing it, fell in love with that game. I played hours and hours, and that led me into being super stoked when they came out with Skyrim. And I spent so many hours of my life on Skyrim. I'm ashamed to say how many weekends I sat in the house playing Skyrim when I could have been out doing other stuff. But I was hooked. I'd get up Saturday morning at 4 o'clock and start playing. I'm addictive, very addictive.
Well, I'll tell you mine, and I'm also tell my age because it was on the PS1,
Oh
and it
wow,
was Final Fantasy VII.
love that one.
It was a 3 disc game,
Yes,
and like what brought me into the Final Fantasy series was Legend of Legaia, which a lot of people do not know what that game is.
They need to
And
remaster that one. It'd be amazing.
oh man, that was an awesome game. It's
It
Legend of
was really.
Legaia, and it was found on PS1. And I tell you what, I looked that game up recently, and that's an expensive game if it's still wrapped.
really.
Oh,
Wow.
it's a
Yeah, it's
classic.
pretty rare. It was kind of a hidden gem type of game.
Yeah,
It was unknown. PlayStation had a lot of RPGs on it though, a lot.
Right,
I
yeah.
have
right. And
I
I
have
love
one that's
RPGs.
worth.
I do.
I have one called Brigadine, and if it was still wrapped, it'd be worth probably in the thousands.
Oh wow,
Because it was
wow.
very rare. It was very rare. It's an odd game. It's kind of like when you said Ogre Battle, it kind of reminded me of that game. But I'm sorry,
I
I
could
didn't
tell
mean to
you,
interrupt you.
Ferg,
Go ahead.
Ferg, Disease's gaming section is like a going to a museum.
Oh
Like
wow,
he's got
really?
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I
Wow.
wish I had the place to put everything. I can't buy anything anymore because I got too much crap. I need to sell some.
Unbelievable. There for a while there was a boom on retro games. And there may
Yeah,
still be. I'm not certain, but for a while there really was. There were stores set up that were selling some of the classic systems and still selling some of the classic games that everybody loved.
I'm
yeah,
gonna let
it's
y'all
still
continue right
still
quick. I'm
there.
gonna step out for a second.
It's
Sure.
still there. They have they used to have Funco Land back in the day, and then
Okay.
I think GameStop bought them out. But they have one
Okay.
called Game Exchange,
Game
and
Exchange. I remember that.
they're okay. That what really killed the retro market as far as the buyer is the internet, because everybody can go on the internet, see how much something's worth, and then
Right.
you can't get anything cheap unless you go to a yard sale now.
Right.
And
And then you would download what's it called? Emulators.
yeah,
My
and then
brother had a desktop computer that he built himself and had these emulators, and he had all the Sega games, all the Super Nintendo games. He had everything, and in fact, on that desktop, another game I didn't mention that I really loved was Knights of the Old Republic.
oh yeah,
Wonderful games, and
I
loved
have
both
it.
of them. I've loved a lot of games through the years, but I've not played. Like I said, it's just I don't play anymore. My kids play games, but I don't play anymore. I'm too busy. I don't have time. I don't have time to play. But one of my very favorites, Red Dead Redemption 2, great game. Some of your Assassin's Creed games are very, very good. But one of my very favorite games on an older system, I'm not going to say it took so many hours of my life, but I loved it. The original Rainbow Six, and I think it was on PS2.
Yeah,
But I loved that first Rainbow Six, man. That was just great.
yeah. I have a few games. His question was the one I put that we put the most hours in. So I have a few that I put a lot of hours in, but they're not my favorite game.
Right,
So like
right,
because like your Skyrim game, you're gonna put some
right.
hours in Skyrim,
God,
right?
you're
It
gonna put
doesn't
some
matter.
hours in.
Even if you think it's a 6 or 7 out of 10, you still got to put some hours in to get to the end of Skyrim.
Right,
But there's some games that are like just so good and they don't take quite as long. So my
right.
absolute like favorite game to this day, and I still go back and play it like once a year or once every couple of years, is A Link to the Past, Zelda.
Okay,
I still to this day go back and play through that game again, even though
okay.
all the puzzles and everything. I love that game. That's one of the most
Heck yeah.
perfect games ever made to me. Is A Link to the Past, And so
Heck yeah.
when people are like, Ocarina of Time's better, I'm like, you only think it's better because it's 3D. There were problems in Ocarina of Time. For one, the big Goron sword was a slap in the face. You had to do all the stupid running around to get the stupid thing, and then it was two-handed. You couldn't use your shield, and it wasn't worth it. Whereas in the Link to the Past, you got four different swords, which to me I love, like because it matched the pace of the game well. So you start
Right.
out with just the soldier sword, and then you go to the master sword, and then you get the tempered sword, and then you get the golden sword.
Right.
And so it
And see,
matched
I
the
used to
pace of the
love
game.
that about games. I used to love where it was like with Final Fantasy 3, for example. It's like you level up, and you had to level up or find new loot and things. I always loved finding loot. I love finding chests.
Mhm.
I love exploring. And I think that's where I fell in love with some of the more modern RPGs when they became open world, is just because I love to explore. I spend so much time exploring. Oh my God, and God, I can't tell you how many hours I spent on Fallout 4. Just
Oh, I
I-
Fallout
God,
3 is probably one of my top three, like that I put the most hours into. Like I have
right?
170 some hours in one character and almost 300 in another. Because Fallout
Right.
3 was my of as far as the Fallout series, Fallout 3 is my
Fallout
favorite.
3.
And everyone else seems to like New Vegas, and I'm like, New Vegas is good,
I've had
but
so many
3 is
people
better
brag
than
on
both.
New Vegas.
New Vegas is good. I'm not saying it's not a good game. It is a good game. But Fallout 3 to me will still be better because I like the story more. And
Right.
the mechanics in it that they put into New Vegas, they put like a reload table, they put where you had a campfire. They added more mechanics and everything to the game. And the story was good. It just wasn't as good as 3 to me. And the mechanics
Right.
were kind of they didn't need to be there, some of them. And so that's
Right.
kind of what knocks it down for me. Also, when I played Fallout 3, I guess most of the bugs were out of the game first.
Okay.
So I didn't have as much problem. When I played New Vegas, I couldn't even complete the game for 3 months because I got stuck on this one part that was a game breaking
Uh,
bug that they had to fix. So I guess that kind of soured my experience with it too.
right.
And I also remember when the game came out, people didn't actually like it. But now it's
Well,
beloved. Oh,
and
everyone
some
loves
of
it.
those games that were coming out during that time period, what's difficult is they would have bugs and it would take a while to get the patch,
Yeah.
you know?
Fallout 3,
Did
when it came
anybody
out, it
did
had
anybody
bugs.
also did either of you guys ever play Tony Hawk Pro Skater?
Yes. Yes, I
Oh
have.
man, loved
And the
that game.
music, man.
Oh
The music.
man, yeah.
Just like the
Green
snowboarding
Day,
game, dude. The
yeah.
snowboarding one.
The,
Oh, I
the
love
only
the.
Heck,
skating game I really played was that one on the Nintendo called Skate or Die.
Skate or Die.
And Skate or Die 2.
Yeah.
After that, I did play a little bit of Tony Hawk's, but I wasn't really that into the skating
Oh
thing.
man, I
You know,
love
I
Tony
kind of got out
Hawk's.
of it.
It was so great.
I had Jet Set
And
Radio Future. I played it a bit.
All right. Well, I'm doing something a little new, and it was at the request of another military buddy of mine. All right. And so props out there for Clipple. Uh, First question, and this can go for all of us, which is what's a moment in your life that really shaped who you are today?
almost every moment that I spent at my grandmother's house, and especially at her dinner table, you know, just God, just I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be who I am today without my grandmother. I really wouldn't. And so much of everything I learned from her makes me who I am. And when I was younger, I couldn't see it. It wasn't until I got older and I would realize it. And in fact, I'll never forget us sitting on her front porch swing. I miss sitting on my grandmother's front porch swing. I really do. That was a favorite place, and I miss sitting up there and talking with her. But I'll never forget when I got older, coming back and sitting up there and laughing at how she got a lot smarter the older I got. But man, probably every moment because and the holidays too, because at my grandmother's house, you got to understand something. At Christmas and at Thanksgiving, the lights never cut off. And it wasn't like during school, like you never went to bed. Like people would still be up visiting at 1, 2, 3 in the morning, and and I don't mean like up partying or nothing. There'd be coffee made and people still eating pieces of pie left over, and just like aunts and uncles, cousins that people that stayed, and just it was the place to be. It was absolutely the place to be, and man, just I have so many fond memories of being there, and I really can't put it into words. I can't define a single moment. It's the totality of moments that I spent in my grandmother's house, and that makes me.
All right.
Good answer.
Disease.
Mine, mine's pretty much bad. Like it's all bad stuff.
Oh no.
Yeah, what basically framed my life and the way it has been and the way it has continued to go has been what happened when I was a kid, and it caused me to have such insane amounts of pain for years that you
Mm.
know it made me who I am now. And it guided my life in a direction I never wanted it to go because I couldn't do the things I wanted to do. So I'm not saying that as to bring everyone down. I mean, but like that is the defining moment in my life is when someone else decided to make a decision that just basically ruined my life. Um, and I mean, that's the when you said it, that's the first thing that comes to mind.
I
So
got a
it's
feeling I know what you're
that
talking
thing.
about.
Yeah. So I can't. I don't want to say too much more, but
Yeah.
it caused me to have headaches that would basically kill an elephant. So there's that. As far as good things,
Well, you're being honest. You
I,
got to tell. I mean, that's your story. That's you. That's who you are.
Yeah.
that's why I joke around a lot, because I don't like to be serious because you know I like to laugh. I like to enjoy life
Sure.
because I've had too much of the bad in it. And if I find that is the way with a lot of people, they're the opposite. So if they've had a lot of bad in their life, they enjoy the good as even more so. So that's why I try to be that way. So that's why I didn't want to really say it at first because I know uh, Rob knows what it was, but just that was the defining moment in my life. If that hadn't happened, if that kid hadn't done what he did, then I don't know where I'd be. Seriously, I'd be probably the next Stephen Hawking or something. Who knows?
Excuse me,
But
fellas.
it just, it really cements to me that you never know what you do that can affect not just yourself but someone else's life.
Right.
And you may not think it's something, but it could be something major. Well, what he did wasn't just something small. He what he did was physically bad, but
Right.
I'm sure he wasn't thinking about the future. He wasn't thinking, will this do this to this person? So it kind of shaped me into seeing the paths, that the
And
actions
most of the
that you
time, they're
can
not
do.
thinking when they do those things.
Well, no, he was a dumb kid, just like me. It was like when I was real young, 12, 11, 12, 13 years
Sure.
old. So, when you're a kid, you don't think about your actions and the consequences of those actions.
No, you don't think of consequences.
Yeah. So I don't really blame the person because they were young and stupid too, but it made me just realize the consequences of my actions now, even more so. So, there's good that even comes from bad stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I could tell you a moment in my life. I would say, before I joined the military, I was probably not in the best places, doing the best of things. And one day, I decided I'm going to join the military. Uh, Otherwise, I was going to probably be in trouble or worse. So I told my dad, I said, I got a job interview in Alexandria tomorrow. So I went up to the recruiting station and ended up joining the Army. Uh, they said, when do you want to leave? I said, when's the soonest you have? And they were like, well, you can leave in 2 weeks. And I said, all right. So 2 weeks, you'll go. We'll take you up to MEPS, which in Shreveport, and then you're heading out to Fort Benning, Georgia. So I was like, okay. So I went back home. My dad said, how'd the interview go? And I was like, oh, it went good. I'm leaving in 2 weeks for the Army. He's like, do what? I said, yep, I'm leaving in 2 weeks to go to the Army. So I ended up leaving, but I think that was one of the best decisions I made because the crowd that I was around at the time probably wasn't the best for me. And, certain individuals that I did hang around are locked up,
Yep.
or, worse, So I think I made that decision at that moment. I kind of grew up, decided this was the best option for me, and I needed to get away, So I took that,
Heck yeah.
and I, even grew up a little better, a little more, and within the military, and you know, maybe it wasn't the best option, but for me, it was the best option at that time, and it brought me to where I am now today, which I wouldn't change a thing. If I had to make that decision again, I would still go back and join the military to get away from this certain situations at that time. So I'd say it would. If I wouldn't have made those decisions, it wouldn't be me today, or probably wouldn't be here today.
They
Well, we're
maybe
glad you're
in
here,
prison.
bro. I'm
So,
glad both of you guys are here.
Thank you. I
uh,
barely made it.
But you're here.
so, question two: if you could collaborate with, or hang out with anyone alive or dead, who would it be and why?
Anybody, alive or dead,
Anyone,
just hang out.
alive or dead.
Dear God. Well, I know what I used to say, but for this episode, I know what I'm
Jesus.
gonna say. Do what now?
I said Jesus.
Well, I've kind of already hung out with him quite a bit of my life, and thankfully I hang out with him quite often. Sammy Hagar. I would love to hang out with the Red Rocker. Man, that guy is like the coolest dude on the planet. I used to say, a lot of times I used to answer that and say Elvis, and I would love to have, but man, I don't know. I love Sammy's whole vibe. I've always been a fan of his music, but just the things he does that are not music related, he just seems like the most down to earth, coolest rocker dude. Like he's like he's like you and me. It's just that he plays music, but he is like the coolest dude, and he loves people, and he just seems like he's always having the biggest time, always having the best time, and always making the most out of life. I would love to hang out with the Red Rocker.
Hell yeah. Well, disease.
um, Probably Robin Williams. I always wanted to meet Robin Williams. He was one of the few people in the spotlight whose death kind of affected me. Like I
Okay.
was really sad that he passed away, and I was like, man, he was such a he seemed the same way, like really a down to earth person, and just he had his issues, like we all do. But
Right.
I always wanted to meet him. And as far as musically, Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, gotta love Weird Al.
He can sing like anybody, dude. He's like the best musician ever.
And you know, there was a day and time that if Weird Al had done a parody of your music, you knew you had made it.
Yep. Yeah, he was the standard.
Heck yeah.
If he did a parody, you knew you were doing the right thing.
Yep.
Well, I don't know about anybody famous, but I don't know if I could hang out with a person one more time. I'd probably say my grandma on my mom's side because I spent a lot of time with her and she took care of us and always got us what we wanted, even though we were sometimes little brats. But I
A
would
punk.
probably want to ask her, how did she keep it together so well um, through everything she's been through? And also, like, she was also so smart in how to guide the family. The family was always together until she passed away, and then, like, the family just separated, and I'm talking about the entire family. And,
Right.
I just would have to ask, how was she able to do such a great job and tell her thank you for everything she'd done to me or done for me.
Heck
So,
yeah.
but yeah, man, uh, great people leave this world early.
Oh man,
So,
Good
unfortunately,
die
you're
young.
right.
yeah. So,
Damn, what's that
third,
say about us? We're still here.
we're assholes. No, no,
We're in the
no.
middle.
I'll own
Yeah.
it.
But, all right, three. What's one thing people would be surprised to know about you? And there he went.
That I'm white.
Here.
Next question.
Well, I think they'd be surprised to know I really am Batman. You
I'm Batman.
That I'm on the FBI's most.
No, some people know this about me, but if you didn't know me when I was very young, I used to have a lazy eye, used to have cross eyes. And right before I went into my 6th grade year over that summer, I had surgery to shorten the nerve in one of my eyes. And so, for the most part, nobody can ever tell the difference. There's been times, there's been a few times, I guess, if I got like really sleepy, one of my eyes might, try to float off just a little bit. But if you didn't know me and you never knew that about me from the time I was a kid, most people would never ever know that. And due to that, for a short time when I was younger, I wore glasses, but I haven't worn glasses in years and years since the surgery, and I'm glad of that. But it pretty much corrected everything. But if you didn't know me, you'd never know I was cross-eyed for a little while.
Yeah, no, would have never known. All right, disease.
I'm real quiet.
What was the question?
Yeah, yeah. He's naturally like loud,
I don't remember the question.
which that's always great. So the question: what's one thing people would be surprised to know about you?
Hmm.
Tough, ain't it? I'm still trying to think about it.
Cue
Man,
the Jeopardy music.
I
You
don't
want me to
know,
go
man.
while you're thinking?
Yeah, you go ahead.
All right. So most people, when they see me, my demeanor, it always looks mean or unapproachable. Because I have a natural frown. I don't naturally smile. So
RBF.
anyway, so I got that natural state trooper face. Well, a lot of people don't know that. Like easygoing, give you the shirt off my back type of person. You know, I was the type of person growing up that, you know, I was, I played on the football team. Um, but I was totally against bullying. I was always that guy that, he's quiet, hang back, but as soon as I see someone bullying someone, I'm stepping
Right.
in, and me and the bully is about to have a round one, ding ding, you know. So I was always that guy that would stand up to other people's bullies, So um, nobody would probably, I guess, would figure that about me, but you know, I'm actually a nice guy,
Big old
other
teddy
than
bear.
the face. No, so well, you figured out.
Not really. I'm pretty much an open book except for my face.
That's what I was gonna say. No one has seen your face.
They'd be surprised if I took out the mask. There you go. Next question.
He's probably got one of the reason for the mask. He's got one of those immaculate
That's true.
Burt Reynolds type mustaches, and
Hmm.
he's afraid all the ladies are just gonna go nuts. You know, it's the mustache, and
Yeah.
that's what it is.
I must ask you a question. I do have more fishing poles than Walmart, though. That is true. Um, I don't know. I'm pretty much an open book, I guess, when it comes to certain things, unless it's personal information. I am very, very protective of that stuff. Uh, I guess that's from, you know,
This
being
is
in
this is
prison.
this is what disease really looks like behind the mask.
I only have one. I don't
No,
have two teeth.
no, no. Oh, you said you only have one.
I only have one tooth.
Oh,
Oh,
well, there's a picture for
There.
everything, huh?
That's it. But mine's on the bottom and it goes into my
Oh,
nose.
yeah. Oh, God.
hey, do either of you guys remember the old like the Bugs Bunny cartoons and all that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
You
yeah.
you remember the one cartoon where there was this real pretty girl and she had this veil over her face and through the whole cartoon you didn't see her and I can't remember if it was the wolf or which character it was is just in love with her. She's supposedly hot. And then when she finally pulls the veil off, that's kind of how it was. She had like one missing
Hmm.
tooth or something. She was just buck tooth or some missing tooth. She was ugly.
Yeah, when he whistled at her, she was like, "Oh," and then she wouldn't leave him alone.
Oh, God.
Okay,
Wow.
I
Good
got it.
stuff, man. Good stuff.
People would be
So you've
surprised
got
to
to
know.
laugh, and like you really have to. You have to laugh, and you have to laugh at life. You really do.
Oh, I do all the
That's
time.
why I'm always ferging around. You can't take life too serious. You got to ferg around a little bit.
I think
People would be
disease finally.
surprised to know that I am completely immune to poison ivy.
Immune to poison ivy.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm immune, but I've never had it, and we tromped all through the
Completely.
woods growing up. We would go everywhere. Me and my brothers, and we wore shorts. We went everywhere. We climbed trees. There was this great big wooded area out behind where we lived, and we kind of had these clubhouses. We would say, as we tromped all through there and went through everything. I've never had poison oak or poison ivy my whole life, and you would think by now I would have rubbed up against it.
Yeah, you might be immune too. There are some people.
So,
I know that
so
Coyote
by you
Peterson is
saying
immune.
that, I believe that's a real thing. Maybe you are immune, to be honest.
Coyote Peterson, the guy, you know who that is?
I don't know Coyote Peterson.
He has a channel on YouTube called Brave Wilderness. Well, he used to be on it. He's retired a bit now, but he's immune to poison ivy as well.
Really?
Yeah, and I thought I
Hmm.
was the only one. A lot of people are like, "There's no way you're immune." I'm like, I've taken it and rubbed it on my
Right. It
arm, like
does
on the soft
nothing.
part of my arm. Does nothing.
Does nothing.
But I
Hmm.
don't know about poison oak. I don't know if I've ever been exposed to it. But they say the oils that are in poison ivy are similar to poison oak, so it'd probably be the same thing. Yeah, that's
That's
the
the
dude.
guy.
Yeah, he went through
Oh,
the
okay.
pain index.
Oh, I
He
think
went
I've
through the.
seen that. Yeah, I've seen that guy before. I
That's
just
Coyote.
probably didn't know his name.
That's my
Okay,
brother from another mother.
Roger that.
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha.
yeah. He did the sting zone. I still want to find that one wasp that we have here that nobody can find, but he went through the pain index scale with the stings from insects.
Oh
And if I
wow.
hadn't been through so much damn pain in my life, I'd do that too.
Oh wow.
I would like to compare the stings to my condition and see which one's worse, but I don't know. I'm done with pain, man. I'm sick of
Yeah, that'd be kind of
it.
like a research. That'd be like research there.
Yeah. Well, coming up on 2.5 hours, man, and
Right, gentlemen.
you know, I don't see. So I don't. Reggie and Mario's probably not going to make it tonight. So until another time, if you guys don't have any more questions, we can go ahead and I can go ahead and close this.
No, it's perfect. My bladder
Let me
only
just
holds
say,
2 hours 34 minutes of stuff.
let me just say, I've had a good time, and I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you inviting me on. It's fun to do the interviews and the bands and so forth, but this was a lot of fun too. This was a really enjoyable Friday night. I promise you.
Oh
It was
yeah,
good to
man. I
have you,
wish.
you motherfucker.
That's right.
I
I've
wish.
heard a lot of.
Eh, I wish we could have got a few more guys on. Yeah. Then it changes up.
Changes
It's
the dynamic a little bit.
oh yeah, we could feed off each other a little. More topics. Especially with the geographics of everyone. You know,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Wow,
so
you're absolutely right.
because think about it, Mario's in New York, Ferg, you're in Tennessee, we're in
Yep,
Louisiana,
yep,
Reggie's in Colorado,
yep.
Dave is in Arizona.
Wow,
So we are all over.
all over.
So one day we'll get it all over. We'll get everybody on, and just have a blast, dude. And I know Disease is still waiting on Craig to come on from Take It or
Yeah.
Leave It.
That bastard. He's scared of me. You
No.
hear me, Craig?
But that's. You got anything else for? Are you good? Disease?
Hey, I've got
I'm
one
good.
last thing to say to everybody.
Is it about Red Snapper?
No,
Oh,
listen. When they ask you, "Hey, what you been doing this weekend?" You just tell them, "I've been ferging around on the BSing with Y Eagle Y podcast."
Awesome. That's going to wrap it up for this round of BSing with the guys. Big thanks to everyone hanging out with us tonight. The laughs, the stories, the chaos. That's what it's all about. If you had a good time, make sure to follow, share, spread the word. And if you see us next time for, with the guys, open season is what it's called. Now, not only can you comment in the, on the social medias, but if one day we can allow, well, like if you pop in, you want to join us for just a few minutes and we can see where it goes, and then the next individual can come on. We can start something a little new. But the next BSing session is going to be next month. Hang out and subscribe to the website, and you can see all the upcoming events, especially the one coming up next weekend with the Ferg. Disease is the producer, and Reggie. So, Silent Theory is next weekend. And Disease got to show his girlfriend again. But yeah, so just make sure to follow, share, spread the word. We'll be back with more unfiltered BS, open season style. And until next time, keep it real, keep it loud, and keep on BSing.